It is Friday night in Phoenix, and you're listening to the Absolute Geek Podcast. I am Matt.
I'm Lance.
I'm Max.
I want to say a big thank you to everyone watching us live on YouTube right now. And if you're listening to this playback on Monday, why don't you come check us out live on YouTube? YouTube.com/Absolute Geek Podcast. Absolute Geek Podcast.
Be part of the conversation.
Absolutely. And while you're there, why don't you hit that subscribe button as we're on a road to 1,000 subs. We're going to try and get 1,000 subs by the end of the year. So yeah, great stuff there. How's it going, guys? I'm back from the dead since you bastards decided to kill me the last 2 weeks.
You know, it was a decision made in like the midnight moment in the writer's room, and
yeah,
we thought it would make for captivating storytelling.
A moment that I could not stick to.
Yes, I know.
I couldn't do it.
You dropped it right as the shtick was going. Max tapped out. I was like, I can't do this.
I'm not a big fan of dead jokes. I don't want to joke about him being dead. That's sad.
Oh man, it was a trip. Let's just say that.
Yeah, dude.
Good to be back, though.
You had us worried there a couple times.
Good to be back, man. Dude, I had myself worried. Like, I had surgery on the 3rd, and I was good. And then Sunday night, man, my ankles and my feet just blew up, like to the point where like I couldn't walk. You could see the veins in my feet. Like it was bad. Gross. Yeah. And so I called my surgeon on Monday, and he was like, "Oh, well, you need to call your PCP." And I'm like, "You did the surgery. Why do I gotta call someone else?" So I called my PCP, and he's like, "Well, we did all these tests on you, and you were fine. And now the only odd thing out is this surgery. So call the surgeon." Cool. So 9:00 at night on Wednesday, I call the surgeon back and call the on-call surgeon, and he's like just dismissing me. And he was like, "Well, you can either go to the emergency room or wait till your follow-up on Friday." I was like, "Well, it's Wednesday night. I might as well just wait till Friday because I don't want to go to the emergency room." And so I go to my follow-up Friday, and he's like, "Oh, well, we think," he's like, the only thing that would make your feet blow up like that would be blood clots." So I'm like, "All right, cool." And so he's like, "Well, all the outside area, all the outside imaging places are closed because it's 5:00 on Friday night. So you have to go to the emergency room." So I was like, "All right." So I went to
all that. You still had to go to the emergency
room.
Yeah.
So I went to Banner Thunderbird, and I sat in Banner Thunderbird for like 6-7 hours. And come to find out, I don't have blood clots. Thankfully, they gave me some water pills, and the swelling's all gone down, and I'm ready to be here this week, and I'm happy to be back. Thankfully,
so they gave you water. That was the cure.
They gave me water pills to remove the excess fluid from my body to take the swelling down. Because not to mention that, the rewind. So when I'm at my appointment, I thought I only had one hernia. I thought I had an incisional hernia from when I had a gallbladder out. And the doctor, when I got out of surgery, wasn't there. Nobody told me what happened in the surgery. They're just like, "All right." I woke up and I was like, "I'm in the most pain I've ever been in my entire life." And the nurse goes, "Yeah, it took a lot for us to get you from about a 10 down to where you are now." I was like, "Well, if this isn't a 10, God knows what a 10 was, because this sucks." And then the minute I was awake, she's like, "All right, here's the wheelchair. You're going home." And they tried to call my dad, and they couldn't. They said, "Oh, I couldn't get a hold of him." So I called Erin, and I was like, "Hey, I'm ready to be picked up." And she was like, "Nobody called us." And I was like, "Are you serious?" So she had to call the hospital back and go through all these hoops to try to find me. And yeah, and so we go to my appointment on Friday, and he's like, "Oh, well, everything went great. I removed the one hernia. When I was in there, I found a small umbilical hernia, so I fixed that too." So I went a whole week not knowing that
you had
I had 2 hernias.
Wow.
And so they had to go in from my left side, and the hernias were on the right, so they had to move all that stuff. So if they were like, "Yeah, we had to do a lot of moving around, there was a lot of damage to your abdominal wall, that's why you're swollen," that would have made sense to me. I would have been like, "All right, cool." I wouldn't have freaked out about it. But I'm swelling up, being dismissed, nothing is making sense to me. And then finally it all clicks when he's like, "Oh yeah, well, we did another hernia surgery on you." So I was like,
that's crazy that they can just do that. They can be like, oh, hey, like we went in there to fix this one thing, but we also like, gave you an extra lung or something like that. And there's like,
right. You would think they'd have to call
send the bill.
They'd have to call my power of attorney or my medical person and be like, hey, look, there's a second hernia. Can we fix it? You would think they'd have to get permission to do it. But nope, he's just like, oh, I fixed that for you too.
Oh man, it's like a mechanic. They just fix it and then bill you.
Yeah, right. Pretty much. So,
or they break it and then they try to bill you to fix it. I had that happen to me recently. It pissed me off.
Oh, we left our watch in your abdomen, so now we're going to charge you $10,000 to remove it.
Yeah,
yeah.
So it was a interesting time, to say the least. But
we're glad you came out the other side okay, that you're doing all right.
Yeah, we're working on it. But let me tell you, like, all these people, man, you hear about, like, because you can't have anybody go in with you when you go back. Like, you're by yourself. And it's so, like, infuriating when you're having these issues and you have nobody there to advocate for you. And, that was my whole dad's thing. He was like, you're in there having surgery and I'm at home and having to advocate for you over the phone with someone while you're in the operating table. Like, I can only imagine people that go in there for, the big pandemic that's going on now, that what they're facing, sitting there alone. Like, it's scary as shit.
Can I just say I love your fiance?
Yeah.
Her comments are just so awesome.
She is good.
Yeah, I was laughing.
Plus the cost of the watch. But Quantum, is that Quantum?
It is.
Quantum.
Yeah, he's asking to collab. Well, I don't know, man.
You're a flaccid podcast. We're full erect over here.
Yeah.
No, dude, that's insane, man. That they just. My wife went in for appendicitis. You remember that, Max?
I do.
She was in the hospital for like 3 days or 2 days or something like that, and she was in the middle of nursing our like 6-month-old, and I had to go to the hospital to get that. She would pump at the hospital, and a nurse would have to bring it out to me in the parking lot, and I had to do this like 4 or 5 times a day, because they wouldn't let me bring the baby inside to just get nursed. Like, my wife was perfectly capable of nursing, but like 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd have to drive over to the hospital to get a bottle that they pumped.
Man,
it was insane.
Yeah, should have had her pump and then freeze it, and you could just walk out with a cooler full of them. So
she just couldn't keep up. Well, it was appendicitis, so it was like an emergency surgery.
Yeah, no, I know.
We didn't have time to like prepare or anything. She couldn't keep up with the demands of the baby.
Doctors couldn't milk her.
As I said, like, they should have just had her pump at the hospital and then put it in a cooler and freeze it and then bring it out to you every day. So you got like 4 or 5 bottles ready to roll.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, it's all weird. Like, I feel pretty blessed in the sense that, like, with births, they aren't as strict. Like, I was allowed to be there for the birth of my son. Like, that would have been pretty devastating if I wasn't there. And my wife, poor thing, that would have been awful if she had to go through childbirth and labor and all that by herself. But the thing that was a bummer is, like, you look forward, and hopefully when you guys have your kid, you'll be able to have visitors at the hospital, but we weren't able to. And so that was just kind of weird. Like, I remember visiting Lance for, I think, all but one of your kids, because I was in Colorado for your second to last. Taylor. But yeah, Taylor.
Interestingly enough, she's the one that doesn't like you.
It's true. But she doesn't like anybody. She just is like nonchalant with me. She just doesn't care. I don't exist.
I think our plan is actually not to have visitors, because we want it with Delta and all that. We want it to be more controlled. So
sure.
It's going to be more like people can come over, to the house and see the baby and all that. I don't think we're going to have people come into the hospital. So
yeah,
at least that's what we've talked about. Things could change. Like,
I don't know if they'd let you if you wanted to.
I don't think they will let you.
Well, because when I was she's torn between going to 2 different hospitals. Like, she's going back and forth on what hospital she wants to deliver at, whether it's going to be a Brazo or Banner Thunderbird. So she's like, when she's driving me to the emergency room, she's like, when you're in there, get the scoop and the lowdown about labor and delivery, and let me know how they treat you and how the doctors are. And so like I'm sitting here getting this ultrasound on my legs, and the nurse is like flopping my nuts because she's got to like go with the ultrasound to your groin. So like my nuts are flopping over in her hand, and she's like whipping them back over and stuff. And I was like, is this extra or is this complimentary? Because she's like, you're playing with my nuts. And then I'm like, so my fiance wants to know we're having a baby. What would you deliver here? And like trying to get the lowdown on everything is. I'm like, yeah, I'll make sure to get the information about the baby we're having in January right now as I'm possibly dying. But don't worry about it. I'll make sure to get that for you, the inside scoop.
That's embarrassing, isn't it? I remember when I went in for my vasectomy, and apparently I didn't shave the way I was supposed to shave. And so this hot little 22-year-old girl was shaving my area, and that had to be the most emasculating thing.
So you're sitting there like tugging on it, like I swear to God, like I just got to make it look a little bit bigger. Come on, I can't have it be this small going into this. What the hell's going on?
See, meanwhile, I'd be like, don't grow. That's what I'd be concerned about.
No,
that's
dude.
Fucking Max is just when you're like a baby's arm holding an apple, just flat. I guess. He doesn't have to worry about trying to make it grow a little bit, so you're not embarrassed.
Depends how cold it is.
Max,
dude,
is just
it's
like
a freezing
raging.
operating room. You're embarrassed. That thing burrows up inside of you, practically. Like it's not a flattering image whatsoever. That girl was probably impressed I was even able to have babies. So
it's like a light switch. What the hell? How'd you get her pregnant?
Oh, we commissioned the neighbor.
Yeah. But thankfully I'm not dead. Even though you bastards tried to kill me. It's all
I wasn't on that show.
It was all Kyle.
You were on the next day. I know. I blame Kyle too.
It was all Kyle. Kyle said, "Now's my chance to overtake Absolute Geek." He was trying to act like a overlord. He was trying to overthrow the government. Anarchy in the UK.
There you go. But yeah, that was my last 2 weeks and why I had to bail on you guys last minute last week. And sorry about that, but
it's all good, dude. It happens.
I had to apparently go get covert information about delivering at Banner Thunderbird while I was potentially dying. But
oh, that's awesome.
But
little did they know you were just doing Kegels and stuff to make it look like your legs were
right. Just swelling up. I was just pumping.
You just wanted attention.
Yeah. I secretly ran an IV into my legs and just pumped them full of water just so I could get covert information on how Banner Thunderbird operates.
Hey, dude. Tom Cruise does it in the Mission Impossible movies.
Yes.
Whatever it takes to get that info.
I'm Tom Cruise, apparently. I'll take that. Oh. I'll take that comparison.
You're probably taller than Tom Cruise.
I am taller than Tom Cruise. I'm Tom Cruise. But
guys, I went to Costco today. Holy shit. I spent $550.
Jesus Christ.
Holy crap, you got too many kids.
It's easy to spend a ton of money there, especially
No, it really is. You put 5 or 6 things in your cart and it's $100.
He had to stock up on his sugar-free Mountain Dews.
Dude, I'm drinking.
What is that?
Body Armor Light.
Yeah, that's good, man. I don't even like coconut, and this tastes damn good.
Body Armor? I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's like Gatorade, but it doesn't have all the shit that they put in Gatorade and Powerade. It's mostly natural.
Gatorade Zero. That's what I drink. Gatorade.
Yeah,
Zero.
dude, I went to QT. I wanted a Gatorade Zero, and you can't get them cold at Walmart, so I go to the QT. Completely sold out of every single kind of Gatorade there is. There was no Gatorade at the QT.
Must be a lot of hockey going on.
Right.
A lot of street hockey being played. Can I get a Gatorade? And everyone's going to want a Gatorade. But
Absolute Geek Podcast at gmail.com.
Yes, Quantum Kyle. That's where you can contact us at. The other big thing, shout out. I want to take a second here to shout out our listeners, because every single one of you are beautiful bastards. You are fantastic human beings. But I want to give a quick shout out and some love to Max Bender for going the distance here and surprising the shit out of me and Aaron and sending us a baby shower gift of a car seat and an extra base for the other car. So
Awesome.
Crazy man. Yeah, appreciate you, Matt. Max, you didn't have to do that, but fantastic, man. Shout out to you.
Now I got to think of how do I one up Max Bender. I gotta send you like a 20,000 college.
Nobody has to send
scholarship.
Nobody has to one up anybody. But I'm just saying, like this little podcast.
That's pretty awesome.
He thanks us really for awesome. Being able to connect to his son and all that through toys and stuff. And so he just said that we provide him so much more than that every Friday when we're on. And by listening to our podcast. So I appreciate that so much. It's so crazy. Yeah. That's awesome. And like Aaron says, still thankful. Thank you, Max.
So. Yeah, the extra base, dude, comes in handy. Like we didn't have one for the first couple months, and I had to go out and buy one because
we didn't get one until like 2 or 3 months ago. It was annoying.
Really?
That's not true. We got it a few months in, but then my wife was interning every like twice a week, and so we gave the base to one of the babysitters so that they would always have it for when they were transporting him around. But then we got it back. We have it back now, which is nice. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Not that it's hard to hook them up, but being able to just grab the car seat and plop it into a new car, it's so much easier.
No problem.
Oh yeah. Just steal them another baby. That's how you do it. That's what Kyle says. I like it, Quantum.
No. But all right, well, that's enough of
that's pretty
people dying, baby talk, Lance's light switch penis. You know, it's let's get into
that's gonna go on the TikTok reel.
Lance's light switch penis.
Oh man.
Let's get into some geek news.
Let's do
it. Gonna start off this week with we got the first trailer for Hawkeye for the holidays. Hawkeye's trying to get home for the holidays, but there's something that's not allowing him to be home. So yeah, what do you guys think of Hawkeye? What do you guys think of the trailer?
I'm very excited about it. I like Hawkeye. I'm one of the weird ones because I just think I like bow and arrow stuff. I'm into that.
You like lame things?
No. But I also love that it's Christmas themed. Like I'm really excited for that. Like Iron Man 3 isn't my favorite, but I like that it's got that Christmas theme behind it. Shazam is a movie I watch at Christmas time like every year now, and it's great. And so this is going to be really cool. What's the release date on this one again? Do you guys remember? Is it November 19th?
It's November, yeah. It's a couple days before Thanksgiving, I think.
Yeah. I'm excited for this show. I thought the trailer looked really good, and why am I blanking on the girl's name who's here in the picture?
Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld. I'm stoked to see her too. So yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, man. I'm a little excited that it's Christmas themed. Like it seems like very much Christmas themed. Like where Iron Man 3 was just kind of like set in Christmas, this seems to have like kind of like Jingle All the Way vibes. Like they're like
I was thinking more of like I'll Be Home for Christmas, Jonathan Taylor Thomas,
JTT.
Yeah. And trying to travel the country to get home
like
for
it's
Christmas.
A part of it. Because you're right, like Iron Man 3 took place at Christmas, but it does feel like the holidays actually are a part of the story. Like it's
he's trying to get to his kids in time for. I mean, it kind of addresses that in the trailer. Like there's some Christmas thing going on that he's got to get to his kids, and he promises his daughter that he's going to be there. So
Aaron's making fun of us in the chat for being excited to see a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, just stick in the chat. You're going to see me get a little excited at one of our next news articles.
Yeah. Haley Steinfeld's a fantastic actress, and so I think she's going to do really well. Does it kind of feel like Jeremy Renner's like this is his farewell?
It feels like it could be. I mean, they've been trying to give this guy his farewell and sunset since Avengers: Age of Ultron, but the man just can't retire. Like, I want the character to retire and just chill with his family. I don't know.
She was a JTT fan.
Matt, you got competition there.
I know. I'm stoked for this too, but to me, it kind of feels like, he's training his daughter at the beginning of Endgame, and it's like, all right, so I was training my daughter to be my replacement, but you're just not quite good enough. So I don't know if I want to spend Christmas with you, and you're not going to replace me as Hawkeye. So I'm going to take this other person, this other stranger, and train her instead. So maybe I'll be home for Christmas. I don't know.
Well, he's getting hunted by a freaking widow.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is why don't we see Yelena Belova in the trailer? Everybody knows she's coming. Why didn't you just show her in the trailer? Like,
maybe there's going to be another trailer later to show her.
Instead, you decided to opt for a corny arrow joke. Like, that was the most dangerous. That's not even the most dangerous arrow you have. Ooh, like, come on, man.
That made me giggle a little bit.
I am. This is very Matt Fraction Hawkeye run, though. I am interested to see, because in that run he's deaf. You see the hearing aids in his ears in the trailer. So it'll be interesting to see how they tie that in, how he's become deaf in this, and it'll be interesting to see where they go with it. But I'm excited for Hawkeye. I don't know if I necessarily believe the Vincent D'Onofrio Kingpin rumors that are floating around.
I haven't even heard about that. I don't.
You haven't heard about that yet?
Either. No. What's the rumor?
Just that
Max tries to stay far away from like any spoiler related material. He's always the last one to find out.
He's trying to reprise his role as Kingpin, and it's been rumored that he shows up in Hawkeye and in Kingpin, because he says, I'm going to be back in the MCU playing Kingpin again. And so people are thinking he's coming back to this show, but I don't think it fits. Why would he come back to the show when he's being hunted for his time as Ronin? And it makes sense. And it makes sense for Yelena to be going after him and all that. I don't know what or how the Kingpin plays into that, all that, or would play into all that.
I mean,
maybe it's just like an after credits or something.
Well, I could see. I don't think the Kingpin's in this, but I could see a world where, as Ronin, he made a big impact on Kingpin's empire, and so that's why I see Kingpin here. Is like he's part of that hunt to take him out.
I think if we're going to see D'Onofrio as Kingpin again, I think it's in an after credit scene for No Way Home.
That would be honestly,
because I think if Charlie Cox,
Doctor Strange,
if Charlie Cox actually shows up in No Way Home as Daredevil, it would make more sense for that news, to be out there, and like D'Onofrio turns around and he's like, "Oh, the Devils of Hell's Kitchen's got another partner," or whatever. Like, it would make more sense to see D'Onofrio there, since those two are connected, than him just randomly showing up on Hawkeye.
Yeah, I was thinking it'd be cooler to see him connected to Spider-Man. That would be awesome.
I heard that he was going to be kind of rebooted. It was still going to be Vincent D'Onofrio, but he was going to be bigger. Like, he was going to be bigger in stature and stuff like that.
I hope so.
Bigger? He's already a big guy.
Yeah, I don't know, like Kingpin.
Bigger and less like he's got Asperger's.
Yeah. Who was it that played him in Ben Affleck's Daredevil movie?
Well, that man's a freaking tree.
Yeah, I can't think of his
name right now.
That's what Kingpin, like, that's the size that Kingpin should be. Like,
and it was just on the tip of my tongue too. It was just on the tip of my tongue, and then he said it.
Michael
Ving Rhames. No, it wasn't Ving Rhames.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Michael Clark Duncan. Thank you. Good God.
Yeah, like,
and we run a podcast, folks.
that movie is shit, right? Like, Ben Affleck's Daredevil is absolutely
guilty. It's a guilty pleasure for me.
But the presence that Michael Clark Duncan in the Kingpin role, like that size and just that's what it should be. I mean, they did it really well in the cartoon, the Spider-Man cartoon.
Except the fact that he looks like an Xbox Series X.
Which is like a little head on top.
I didn't like the way he looked in the cartoon at all.
Think of
Big
him in the
square
first
body
Spider-Man.
with a tiny little head.
Think of him in the first Spider-Man game. Like that's perfect.
Yeah, but
Or
I don't
from
know.
the Spider-Man animated series.
Is D'Onofrio going to put on a weight to play that, or are they going to put him in a fat suit?
I don't know. That's just what I heard, that it was going to be all the characters that have the potential to be showing up from the Marvel television era are going to be rebooted in some form. Like it's been reported Daredevil's going to have like a whole new look to him. Vincent D'Onofrio, Punisher will probably have a whole new look to him. It sounds like they want to retain everybody except for Luke Cage and
Iron Fist.
And Luke Cage is more a matter of it's because he's busy doing other stuff, right?
Oh yeah,
I thought he did great.
Yeah, he's got that show Evil that's doing really well. So I don't know if he'd be.
You want to know what rumor I want to hear about?
I
want to hear about the rumor of when Lance is going to get better internet.
Is it stuttering again?
No, you're just like fading out, man. You're getting all pixelated.
Motherfucker.
Don't you and Max live like right next door to each other, and Max never has a problem?
I pay for better internet than he does.
I don't think that's true. I think we have the same. But
I have 500 gigs unlimited.
Same. That's exactly what I have. No, we live about 15 minutes from each other. We live in the same. It's not a city because Santan Valley isn't actually a city, but we both live in Santan Valley, but he's like on the opposite end of it. But we do live close enough together. You would think that the internet would work.
I'm more in the city, like the city part. You're like way far back.
I live like in the middle of nowhere, and I have better internet than you.
I don't know if it's my hookup or what.
But the verdict, I think, all excited for Hawkeye, excited for the introduction of Kate Bishop, excited for what's to come. And who knows if this is going to be the end of Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, or if we're going to see him in another season, or what they're going to do. But I'm excited for the Christmas movie that is Hawkeye. It's going to become a family tradition. Gather around the fireplace, or in our case, the air conditioner, and you put on, you have 24 hours of Christmas Story, or you watch the Hawkeye series, every year.
So sad, Arizona.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Put Christmas lights on a cactus. That's what we do here.
Does the last episode coincide with when Spider-Man comes out?
It might. It's a 6-episoder, I'm assuming.
Hawkeye's only 6 episodes? That's going to be a lot to cram into 6 episodes.
I'm just guessing. It feels like it would be a 6-episode type of show. I don't think this is going to be a 10-episoder.
I don't know. I hope not. But
because the 10 episodes are, they'll do like 30 minutes. I'm assuming we're going to get 45 to 50-minute episodes, and we're going to get 6 of them. That's at least how Kevin Feige described it, as you get one or two. You get one of those 2 options.
You look good now, Lance.
You look
Thanks,
pretty.
Man.
You know who else is really pretty? Am I good to segue?
You are. You're a good to segue. Yes.
So Aaron wants us to talk about women. Can we talk about how hot Haley Atwell is, and the fact that she's going to be playing the voice only of Tomb Raider, or of Lara Croft Tomb Raider? And I'm bummed out that it's only the voice, because she would be an awesome Tomb Raider, like in live action. But it was actually kind of funny when you first told me about this, Matt. I think you texted us. I was thinking Haley Steinfeld, and I was like, "Oh, she'd be good," but because she would, I think she'd be good for Tomb Raider too. But Haley Atwell's a great fit, so I think she's going to be great for the voice. But I was a little bummed.
I like the girl they have,
Alicia Vikander. Yeah, she's good.
They're making a sequel with her right now.
Yeah, they are. So it wouldn't make sense to put someone new in a live action role, because they already have her.
I think she's gonna do an amazing job as the voice. Like I said, I'm disappointed that she's not live action, but I think my neck thanks you that she's not the live action Laura Croft, because as she's running and you're doing this, it's like, oh yeah, my neck's a little strained. I'm gonna walk out watching and just be like, oh shit. And Aaron's gonna be like, what's the matter? What's wrong? Why is your neck hurt?
Give yourself whiplash.
Yeah. Why's your neck hurt? I was watching Tomb Raider. I just, I swear it's just watching Tomb Raider.
It's like
Haley Atwell is
Baywatch in the
definitely
90s.
she's closer to the 90s version of the character, that's for sure.
Yes.
In that regard.
Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't fit the one that's pictured here.
A little less, a little
heavy.
bit more symmetrical and a little bit less like
Look who it is.
shaped.
I didn't know he was coming on tonight.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Full of surprises.
Hey,
Aloha.
Jay, we were just rating Laura Croft character breasts. Which one's your favorite?
Out of those
We're gonna
three
get
right there.
canceled so
We
quick.
weren't doing
Two of those are the same woman, Jay.
Okay. So clearly I'm not qualified for this.
No, we're just talking about the fact that Haley Atwell is going to be the voice of Lara Croft in
Yeah,
the Tomb Raider Netflix
saw
anime.
that. Yeah, it's
This is out of
cool.
the three women right there.
Well, there's ladies. Why would you have one?
Because I didn't make these.
Hey, I just want to. That's love right there. Look, she's like, I'd rub your neck, babe. That's love right there. No, and I got whiplash from watching some other girl run, and she's just like, I'm still rub your neck. It's all good.
That's good.
Just walking. Oh shit! Like oh man, I don't know what happened. I must have been just sitting the wrong way or what. But watching Tomb Raider is giving me some bad neck pains. Gotta have your chiropractor bill be out of control. But
Hawkeye's 8 episodes.
Oh, cool. I thought it was either 6 or 10.
yeah, are you excited for Hawkeye, Jay?
Yes. I mean, just because it's something new and potentially good, but man, I'm not a big Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye fan, but I'm excited for the show. I like those Matt Fraction series that came out with him and Kate Bishop. But dude, it's like like some of the funnier parts of that, like him hitting on her and stuff. It's like I can't see this happening on this show,
Oh, it's a bit creepy.
Yeah.
He's quite a bit older. than
Yeah,
her.
Yeah. Well, Hawkeye kind of was, but he's just a totally different character. Totally different in comics versus the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, we'll see. Maybe they'll worm something new in there. New and swell.
What? Swell. I like it.
Well, you guys are talking about Laura Croft's mammers.
Hey, that's the whole beauty behind Laura Croft. And in the 90s when she was in the video game, she had big breasts, but they were more cone shaped, and now it's a little less cone shaped and a little bit more symmetrical.
Mm-hmm. I'm not good. Okay, if you thought I was complaining or something, no, you misread. I'm fine with talk of breasts that says.
Aaron said it's not like you're hiding the fact that you're a big tits fan. Right?
Show me one person that says there isn't, and I'll call him a fucking liar right here on this show.
I look more for their personality.
God damn it!
Yeah.
Shut up, Lance.
Hopefully, they don't look the same as you in that.
All right, now that we've got that problem taken care of,
Lance Dunn got himself booted again.
yeah.
This is
What
a
else?
weekly occurrence.
I like this. I like that. You need to have like a hotkey just for that. Just to like
a hotkey just to remove Lance.
yeah.
I didn't even realize I was booted until Max said I was booted. I was looking up some stuff over here.
I'm trying to be cognizant because I re-listen to the show every week. And I'm like, would that make sense to someone who's only listening? So I'm trying to make sure that I like mention crap.
Yeah.
That way it's
That's
not
good.
confusing.
Because I only listen to it also on Mondays when you guys put it out. I don't
Man, why
usually
aren't you guys watching on Fridays to see your beautiful faces?
That's just
I mean,
it's just
I'm
there
literally
aren't any.
here. So I literally
I know.
am watching on Friday.
I know, me too. I applaud you for listening back. I stopped doing that like 4 years ago. Like, I was like, all right, it was a good show. I'm gonna leave it at that because
I listened to every Couch Crunchers episode. Well, not every, but
man.
most.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, dang.
There was a time where you said it was your
That's
favorite
a lot of
podcast,
conviction.
Matt. Come on.
Oh, it's always my favorite podcast. You know,
It's an easy one to make fun of.
It
Lance
is.
and I were on it, so real easy.
So man, if I want to go get mansplained, that's where I went.
Man slapped.
Yeah, get mansplained about why this movie was good.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
But all right, well, enough banter on what was. Let's go and let's talk about a little bit of what if. What do you guys think of What If this week? Are you digging What If as a series? What are your thoughts on What If?
The whole time watching this last episode, I was like, this was like, this is okay to put on Disney Plus. Like, I thought, like, it was pretty violent. I felt like for
This one?
yeah, the last 2 or 3, like, I thought have been pretty, like, I'm fine with it, but they just wanted Disney Plus to be this kid friendly place. And like, I don't know, would you let, like, my son goes on Disney Plus. I don't know if I'd let my 7-year-old watch some of these things.
What was so violent about it?
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
can't. I
didn't
can't
notice.
think of anything that this.
This just
particular
sounds like
episode-
old man
Killmonger goes by the
pepperoni.
killing
Get off
spree.
my lawn.
No, I was fine. I was fine with it, but the last episode
Oh.
specifically was like super bloody. This one was tamer than that, but it was still pretty violent. Like, I don't know, is there anything that's that violent on Disney Plus? I don't think so.
I don't
I didn't
know,
notice it
man.
being violent. It's
Yeah,
hard
I
for me
didn't
to,
either.
like, say much because it was robots a lot of the
Yeah.
time they were fighting. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I'll say this: I didn't really like this episode. I thought it was kind of a dud.
I don't like this
Um,
series. I think the entire series sucks.
I've liked some
Wow.
episodes of it, but
Let's be honest.
Tony's.
If
Go ahead.
you go back and watch the Chadwick Boseman episode and you remove your emotional attachment that he is gone, that episode isn't even very good.
I
I
agree.
don't know, man. I think they're all okay.
I just think that
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
so much of this series is regurgitated storylines that we've already seen. They've made 1 or 2 little changes, but like this one, what if Killmonger saves Tony Stark? All right, he saved Tony Stark, but he still has the same goal. He still had the same mindset. He still tried to put everything, all the same stuff into practice. You know, the Captain Carter one. She took the super soldier serum from instead of Steve, but it's still the same goal, same outcome, same everything. Like, it would have been cooler to see Steve die and her going to try and avenge his death.
I do agree with
I
that.
agree on that one for sure.
Like, the zombie one had it was like 0 plot line to it. Like, it really fell flat. The voice acting in this show is terrible. Like, it's just, to me, it's like, this is like Marvel's big stumbling point. I just don't think What If has been what it's supposed to be.
I don't agree
Feels
on
like a
some
money
of what you're
grab.
saying. I think the voice acting's been fine for the most part. I thought Tony's voice acting was awful. But I think that's also like the Uncanny Valley thing, where it's like he's trying to sound like Robert Downey Jr., but it's very clear it's not. And so it just was distracting more than anything. It was interesting. There were actually other actors that I was like, is that the original actor? And I looked it up, and yep, it was pretty much everybody was the original except for Tony. My least favorite part about this episode was that they had to go and kill Claw again. Claw's awesome. I loved him. I thought Andy Serkis did such a great job with that character, and I was so bummed in Black Panther when they killed him off. Like, it served the plot, and I get it, but I thought he was such a great character that I hated to see him die.
I think this episode would have been more interesting if they had Tony Stark, or if they would have had T'Challa working with Claw and like smuggling and selling the vibranium. And so you still have that, you can still have Killmonger have his past with his dad and the gang violence and being from Wakanda, but he kind of turns out to be the savior of Wakanda, and you have T'Challa being the bad guy. But I don't think they would do that because they're not going to risk tarnishing the legend of Chadwick Boseman with that. But I think that's my thing is like, what if it's supposed to be like this universal, like huge story thing? Like, what if these characters were in different roles, but it's like they didn't go the extra mile. They could have done so much more and crazy outside of the box stuff with these characters instead of running the same storylines but just changing little events.
I agree for the most part.
Yeah, I do agree. They could have gone a little bit deeper, took a little more risk. But the point I had with this one is, well, first of all, like the thing I kind of like is that it revisits some of those moments in some of those old Marvel movies. But this one, man, it's just like it was so fast, like it was so fast paced, and sometimes like, whoa, I kind of want to dwell on this a little longer. I want to dwell on this a little longer, but they just like pushed it so fast, and but it was all right. It was better than Doctor Strange one, I thought.
I think the Doctor Strange one is the one they took the biggest risk on.
I love that one.
And
so good.
With the evil
I think that's
Doctor
still my
Strange
favorite
stuff.
one.
That was my favorite
so far. Yeah,
it was the only one that actually changed something, like where it was a totally different storyline than anything we'd ever seen.
That and the T'Challa as Star-Lord, like both of those were pretty different. And I liked that. That's what I appreciated about it. So I get where you're coming from, Matt, because you're right. Like this was the exact same storyline basically as Black Panther, except for it played out 10 years earlier, basically. So
yeah. And
I was hoping that maybe, Killmonger would not be quite as jaded yet. Like I understand he still had a bad childhood, but this is 10 years before the events of Black Panther. I mean, Black Panther, I think, occurred in 2018 in the timeline, and Iron Man occurred in 2008. So
yeah, but if you remember from Black Panther, Killmonger was angry his whole life.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He was, but like, I don't know. It would have been like at the beginning of his military career, you would have thought, and maybe he would have been a little bit more naive and
definitely
green.
not the beginning. Look at the medals on his chest.
I know it just doesn't make sense. How old is this guy?
Right.
I would have thought it would be the beginning of his career. I pegged him for like 30 years old in 2018. So this should be a pretty fresh recruit here.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I liked aspects of it. Like it made me like the character. Like, well, I hate the character of Killmonger. I think he's vile, but like, I thought that they did a great job. Like with him, like he's an interesting villain. He had an understandable motivation, and so I liked seeing him more. And like he's a great tactician and stuff. But overall, the episode was kind of dull.
Well, I feel like, especially with this Marvel, we're about to get into all of this multiverse stuff, and I feel like they've already got a timeline issue. And I feel like it starts with this and also Shang-Chi, because like I haven't got to speak my piece on Shang-Chi yet, but that was my biggest problem with Shang-Chi is, Endgame, the blip is 5 years after, or Endgame's events are 5 years after Infinity War, right? So they show everything in Shang-Chi, and then they're talking about the blip. So you see like 1996 or whatever it is, and then they go present day. So they're talking about the blip. So they're talking about the blip in present day where you're sitting right now watching them, instead of establishing that it's 5 years in the future. So like they've already got timeline issues, it seems like, as to where things are taking place and as far as the blip goes and all that. And I feel like this is the same thing with What If. It's like,
I'm not sure I understand how that's a timeline issue.
Well, because if it's, so they should set that expectation of you, the viewer, that you're watching the events that are taking place 5 years in the future. If you're taking present day, that means you're sitting there 2021. This is what's going on. So if they're referencing the blip and there's 5 years from in the blip, they would still be blipped out right now.
Yeah, I mean, it would be 2023, I think, is when they officially came back. But I don't mind them saying present day, because to me they're just saying present day for the timeline. I don't know. I don't think that's
present day for that day.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I just and it's like, okay, well, where I don't know. I feel like
Marvel's suffered from timeline issues their whole existence. Like since they're constantly retroactively trying to fix things. I mean,
whatever, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't write this shit down. If it happens, it fucking happens. I just roll with it. But
all I know is if I walk into a Marvel movie and I don't walk out saying, "Holy shit, that was awesome," they did something wrong. Kind of like how it was with Captain Marvel and Black Widow.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel like there's been anything about What If that has left me going, "Holy shit, that was awesome."
I can't wait till it's over.
Wow, that bad.
Yeah, I've been really, dude. I've been consistent through every time we talked about these episodes. I've been consistent,
consistent
I've been
hater.
underwhelmed. And you know me, dude. I'm always like #1 Marvel fanboy. Like defend it till I'm blue in the face. But this show just seems unnecessary.
Well, any of those what ifs are unnecessary. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
I think it's just because, like, everything that's happened, like they're getting into the multiversal stuff, and Spider-Man is supposed to get into the multiversal stuff, and all those things seem like they're gonna have some effect on the future of the movies. Nothing in this show is ever gonna have any effect on the future. They're just filler things. So
yeah,
what's the
Yeah, it's
point?
just
Like,
fun.
well, it's like
'Cause it's
Solo
just
Wookie
fun.
said. Yeah,
Well,
Solo Wookie in the chat is
yeah,
like,
but
it's just
that's
for
not
fun.
the expectation that we were.
That's not
given
necessarily
before.
true, because
Okay.
they've told you that come out and said that everything on Disney Plus is continuity, and that it's going to play into the continuity of the expanded Marvel universe at some point. So what if they're saying what if is continuity, and it is going to connect to the expanded Marvel universe in some way down the line?
That's fine. I mean, if it does or if it doesn't, but I just kind of view it like the comics. Is Ghost Rider ever going to own his own burger place? No. It's just fun to read.
We got the Thanos chopper. I mean,
yeah.
that was in the comics, so anything's possible, I guess. But
Yeah. Pepperoni just thinks too much. You got
Right.
that potato noggin throbbing.
No, I
mad.
think the problem is that this show doesn't make me think.
Oh.
This show is easily forgettable.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm not gonna knock it for not making me think and giving me potato head, but
but that's kind of what every Disney
Throbbing
Plus show
potato
that
head.
we've gotten has been. It's been like these, think pieces, like what's happening, and WandaVision. You're like, oh, I can't wait for the next episode to just answer some questions. That's what drives me nuts about this too, is that there's no continuity from episode to episode. Like, so there's no cliffhanger, there's no anticipation, there's nothing really. Like, it's a 30-minute piece, and then you can forget about it. It has no bearing on the future. With Loki,
Maybe.
with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, with WandaVision, every episode bled into the next one, and you were left for a week thinking, what's happening, right? Like Loki, there were so many things that happened that were just out of left field that you never saw coming, and it was exciting, and there's nothing like this here. The only excitement that there can possibly be is, I wonder what the next episode's about. But they're all like individual pocket stories.
the only consistent thing is that the Watcher is a weirdo, and he just likes to watch people.
Yeah.
I don't get involved, but I like to touch myself as I watch the universe.
I saw
that part
this,
was cool, where Doctor Strange talks to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you sent it, Matt, or I don't know where I saw it, but someone sent there was a picture of Sam and Bucky in the back seat while Cap is kissing Sharon Carter, and the Watcher was photoshopped behind them, like looking, just watching Sharon and Cap make out.
Yeah. I cannot interfere, but I can watch you and touch myself as I do it. But
Get neck whiplash.
yeah. But all right, let's move on.
I don't know. Go
to
ahead.
our next topic. The director of Venom, Let There Be Carnage, came out this week in an interview and said that it is destiny for Spider-Man and Venom to meet. It's just a matter of time, and they want to do it the right way.
They already fucked that up.
Yeah. Thoughts on this?
Elaborate, Lance.
I want Spider-Man to meet the Venom that he's supposed to meet, not this watered down nice guy version of it. Like Venom is supposed to be a bad guy.
Fucking solo Wookiee. I've discovered myself masturbating more than I know there's a watcher.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get that they think they're doing a fan service, but they already messed it up by Eddie Brock's origin story in these films. Like, they started out, he was supposed to be a standalone character. Spider-Man didn't exist in this world. He was a nice guy. He was all these things, and throwing Tom Holland in there just, I don't know. It's not the story of Venom that I want. I want the clash. I want the Venom is a bad guy, and he's not a bad guy in these movies.
See, I would have thrown him. I don't know. I would have done this differently. So if I was in these meetings and pushing this, all right, I would, and I was working for Sony, I wouldn't have released a Venom movie yet. I would have been like, all right, Marvel, this is what your plan is. You're going to do Homecoming, and then we're going to go to Far From Home. All right. And then in No Way Home, right? So you have Spider-Man get the black suit in No Way Home. You could have Eddie Brock trying to be the guy that's investigating him as being Peter Parker. So you can have all that play out, right? And then you go, when you make a standalone Venom movie, you adapt the Donny Cates Venom run to story. So that way you spend the time making Eddie Brock look like that piece of garbage that he is and the bad guy that he is, and then you give him that redemption arc in his standalone movies. You redeem him as the guy he is now in the comics. But
I think that would have been a cooler arc for sure.
You don't get, like, the whole thing with Venom is the whole reason he's got these spider powers is because of Spider-Man. And the whole time he's hunting Spider-Man, and that's his disdain for Spider-Man, is that he wants him. He wants that power. He likes the additional power boost that Spider-Man gives him. He feeds off of it. He craves it. He's obsessed with Spider-Man. He doesn't really, in the comics, he doesn't give two shits about Eddie Brock. He wants to get back to Peter Parker to feel that power again. And that's why he adapts some of the spider powers where Eddie has got the spider symbol on his chest, and he's got the webs and all of that. So it doesn't make sense, like Lance was saying, to revert this now and have them meet. What's the plot point? What's the reason? And I know there's leaks and spoilers out there for the end credit scene for Let There Be Carnage, but I'm not going to spoil that for people that connects the two movies. But it's like, why? What is his rhyme or reason for not liking Spider-Man? What's his rhyme or reason for them to battle? Like, it isn't there, because the whole core value of the reason Venom hates Spider-Man is because he craves that power and he was rejected by him.
Well, and Eddie Brock, doesn't he become Venom? Well, I remember, at least from the Sam Raimi movies, Eddie Brock becomes Venom because Spider-Man strips the symbiote from himself.
Right. Yes, exactly.
So he creates Venom
in the same, but Eddie Brock has that disdain for Peter Parker for events that take place and blames Peter Parker for ruining his life. And therefore him and the Venom symbiote have something in common. So that symbiote attaches to him and feeds off his rage. But the symbiote's main game is to get back to Peter because he craves that power.
Yeah. I'm going to say something that's going to be really, what's the word? Rage inducing. Like, we all know Topher Grace was a bad Eddie Brock, but the Sam Raimi movies did Venom more justice than the Venom movies.
I
think it was truer to the character that we know.
I can agree with you on, like, the basic, most, like, level of it, I guess.
The superficial level.
You're basic.
Pretty
much.
Much.
Like, Topher Grace was a bad casting. The Venom looked ridiculous. Like, he was skinny and all these things. Like, there was a lot of issues. I'm not blind to that. But the fact that they just got the Eddie Brock personality and the Venom, the feud between Venom and Spider-Man, they just did a better job. Than they understood the source material a little bit better than I feel what Sony has done with Venom so far. Because this Eddie Brock is not somebody that I read a lot of Spider-Man comics when I was a kid, and I don't recognize this person.
You mean that the Eddie Brock that's in the Venom movies now?
Yeah, the nice guy. Like now he
Well,
is like I've
that's-
read Absolute Carnage and stuff, and he's kind of like redeemed himself for a lot of those things and everything like that. Like, so I know he's that way now, but there was a journey to get to that point. Like when he started out, he was jealous and he felt like Spider-Man ruined his life and and all these things, and it just kind of seems like it's flip-flopping in the movies. Like
I don't
the
know.
nice guy act is coming first, and then he's going to become evil. Like that doesn't make sense.
Well, there's also a lot in the comics that have transitioned for that because he gets cancer and the Venom symbiote leaves him and connects to Scorpion, and then it leaves Scorpion and goes to Flash Thompson, and so like Flash Thompson is really when he attaches to Flash Thompson, that's really when he starts to get that redeemer, like the symbiote is being used for good. Yeah, redemption. The symbiote is being used for good instead of evil, and then when it reconnects to Eddie Brock, that's kind of when Donny Cates takes over that run. That's kind of when his redemption, the redemption of Eddie Brock, takes over, and that was kind of the whole main underlying thread of Donny Cates' run over the last couple of years was the redemption of Eddie Brock. So,
but see, that can't happen now because Eddie Brock has cancer from the very first movie, and keeps the Venom symbiote because not having it will kill him. So there's no opportunity for that redemption.
Right. Well, but there's no reason for him to hate Spider-Man either, unless they're going to fabricate something that is some superficial reason for him to hate Spider-Man rather than the core reason for it in the comics. But
I think the point is they done messed up.
Yeah,
they done messed up. Ron. I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know how they're going to make
Sony
it work.
fashion. Typical Sony fashion.
I don't know if you get really good writers, I'm sure someone can make it work. But
see, that's what I'm
You
always
can't have faith
on
in that
there.
because they haven't had it yet with Venom.
Well, Venom's only had one movie. We don't know for sure if the second one's going to suck.
I can tell you after the PG-13 rating, it's going to suck.
I'm expecting it not to be good. And so what I'm hoping is that when I go see it in a couple weeks, because I expect it to suck, I'm going to actually go out and say, that's pretty good. That's what I'm hoping for.
Like I think
the first one was, and it didn't change my.
Like I think if you're gonna make a Carnage movie, man, it's got to be hard R. Like parents
Deadpool.
Well, no, worse than Deadpool. Parents took kids to see Deadpool 1 and 2 at an R rating. It's got to be a hard R rating, and the violence has got to be almost to the point where it pushes you being uncomfortable.
Mortal Kombat level of like craziness.
Maybe even a little bit higher, because like
parents still take their kids to that.
With Carnage and the way he operates and who he is, like if you can get that audience member to have that just feeling of being uncomfortable in their seat watching it, you've nailed it. And I don't think you're going to get that with a PG-13 rating.
Nope. I don't either.
Like when he's disemboweling people and things like that, like you're not going to get that craziness in this movie, and it's sad because they're gonna ruin this character, and we're gonna have to wait another 10 years before somebody comes around and does him right. You know, I don't know.
I just wish they would stop pushing this. Spider-Man and Venom have to be in this. Like if you want to put Venom in the MCU, like do it right. Just make these Venom movies their own standalone thing, and I don't know. I don't need worlds colliding all the time. I don't need things pigeonholed together.
Yeah.
But
can we talk about something that I think we'll be more excited about?
Yeah,
let's do it.
We have been Debbie Downing it for quite a while. Can we just talk about the crap that Andrew Garfield is full of just absolute nonsense? He's over here saying, "Oh no, I'm not in No Way Home. What are you guys talking about? Does anyone believe this guy?"
Did you see there's a video of this exact scene right here, this picture?
No, I haven't seen the video.
It shows Tobey Maguire's arm like coming across frame. So you know that they're together, like it's not photoshopped.
Yeah, no, he's trying to claim that the photos online are photoshopped. Now,
And
I'm sure he has
Sony filed a
NDAs.
copyright. Sony
Yeah.
filed a copyright claim against this.
Yeah, I'm sure he has an NDA and he's not allowed to say he's in the movie. So of course he's lying. But does anyone believe him? Jay, do you believe this man?
I don't know, Max. You guys, man, you guys talk about this shit. Fuck, dude. I don't know. I mean,
I just think this is funny.
guess.
I think it's the worst kept secret in like the MCU. Like we know they're in the movie. And you know what? I guess if we turn out being wrong, there's going to be a lot of upset fans.
Well, shit. Yeah, I guess. But I don't mean, just wait till the shit comes out. And bitch about
Here's
it
another
then.
thing. I think I can go as far to say Tobey Maguire. I understand this is not Tobey Maguire that we're looking at right here, but I can go as far to say as Tobey Maguire will be in the Doctor Strange movie at some point. I think that's the reason, not only because of his horror background, but that's the reason Sam Raimi's doing this. I think there's going to be something with Tobey Maguire in the Doctor Strange movie.
That'd be cool. I mean,
Yeah,
it is
would
the
be cool.
multiverse of madness, so it could be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're going to get the end of the multiverse anytime soon.
Oh no.
You know, I think Loki was the start. Spider-Man is like the real like cinematic movie start.
I would say
And then
WandaVision was the start.
There's no multiverse aspect to that show at all, though. We just had a lot
The
of theories.
very end credits is a multiverse aspect when she's reading. That's a scene directly from Doctor Strange when she's reading the book. What do they call that book, Jay?
What? I wasn't listening.
Oh,
The book that she's reading at the end of WandaVision, where she's floating
the
in the air.
Darkhold.
The Darkhold. Thank you. And she hears children's voices. That's from another universe. It's been confirmed.
What
Like
has?
that's
The Darkhold's from another
scene-
universe?
No. When she's running through, she's reading the book and she's searching other universes for her children. That scene is in Doctor Strange.
Well, maybe. The point is, Spider-Man's going to be like our first like real like multiverse movie. And then Doctor Strange, I think, is going to take it even further. So I think you're right. There could be a very good chance that Tobey Maguire is going to be in that movie, and I think that'd be awesome. The reason I said I wanted to talk about something positive is because I think we're all excited for No Way Home. You know, like
I feel like I've already seen the movie.
That's what scares me. That's what scares me. How excited I am for this movie because it almost matches the level of excitement I had for Spider-Man 3.
And so why does that scare you? Because you're going to get
Because
let
I walked
down?
out of Spider-Man 3 and it was not.
See,
it did not meet my.
You even put a negative spin on your excitement. I think we should get an alternate universe where Lance isn't pissy. How about that?
Oh, this coming from the guy that walks out of Shang-Chi and goes, "That sucked."
Oh yeah, let's talk about the end of Shang-Chi, shall we? Shall we talk about how you like totally sabotaged me and I thought everybody was going to attack me for saying it wasn't good? Thanks for that, by the way.
Well,
Jay,
yeah, so
when did we start this love-hate relationship? I want to know when that happened.
I don't remember.
I think it's
any
always
love.
been there.
I don't.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys are like a quipping couple.
Still
That
searching for the love
stereotypical-
part.
They're always fighting, but you know they're in love.
I always thought it was more like a keep your friends closer, but your enemies closer type relationship.
Boom, right there. You just explained it right there.
Spider-Man
Anyway.
2 was not trash.
I like. Who said Spider-Man 2 is trash?
Solo Wookiee says I was
Solo
Lance.
Wookiee.
Oh,
Are you
Spider-Man
talking
is
about?
trash.
Are you talking about Toby's Spider-Man 2 or Andrew's Spider-Man 2?
I like the Andrew
Spider-Man 2 was
Garfield
dope.
Spider-Man movies. I don't care what
I do
anyone says.
too. I love them.
I
I like
like
every
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man movie, even Spider-Man 3. I can
Raimi's
acknowledge that it's
Spider-Man
not
2 is a
good, but I
work of
like
art,
it.
dude. I love Raimi's Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I like the Doc Ock.
It's usually universally heralded as like the best superhero movie ever made.
The second one?
The Sam Raimi one, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand why people think that. Like, I like it, but I don't
It just
understand why people
pulls
think it's so
scenes.
good.
Like there's scenes in that movie that are like frame for frame directly from the comics, like the one where he throws his suit in the garbage can and it's like hanging over the side of the garbage can. Like it's shot like the same way as the frame.
Spider-Man no more.
Yeah.
I didn't
dude.
like how he loses
I
his
love-
powers in that movie. I don't know. I like it. I think Spider-Man 2 is a really, really great superhero movie, but
It might be in my top 3 superhero movies.
it
of
doesn't
all
even
time.
make my top 10 list.
Yeah, because you
Whoa.
like
What?
Batman versus Superman.
Whoa. Spider-Man 2 doesn't even make a top 10 list for you?
I think I like Spider-Man 1 more than Spider-Man 2.
No,
Yeah.
I can hear that.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
argument.
fine.
Spider-Man 1
That's
had
fine.
a lot of issues.
But what just floored me is you said top 10 list. Doesn't even make the top 10.
Don't open that can up. Don't open the can up, Matt.
It might be 11.
Once you open it, you can't put it back in.
I want to open it because I want to know what movies you think. What 10 movies you think are better than Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2? I'm intrigued. And if I hear
Let her rip,
Shazam,
Max.
and if I hear Shazam or anything like that, I'm booting you.
Well, pre-boot me.
Let's
Just let him
hear it.
speak in the
Let's hear it.
darkness.
I don't know. I mean, I just threw it out there. Okay, if you want me to give like a quick ranking, all right. Endgame, Infinity War, Winter Soldier. I like all of those better. Batman v Superman, Snyder Cut,
No.
Man of
Okay.
Steel.
Are you Batman v Superman?
Absolutely, Batman v Superman is my number one.
And
That's
Snyder
hottest pile of trash I've.
Yes.
like, Batman- oh my gosh, we've been going on about this
So I'm
since
at
that
I'm
movie
at
was
6
released.
movies.
I think
right
I need
now.
to start requesting a resume or credentials before I look for
I
podcasts.
put Andrew Garfield's original
Yeah.
Spider-Man
Some
movie
sort of
above
vetting-
Spider-Man 2,
vetting
Spider-Man
system.
1. I don't know.
God.
Maybe it's in the top 10. I'm starting to run out of movies that I like better than Spider-Man 2.
Dude, you already ruined it by saying Batman v Superman and Justice League Snyder Cut.
Oh, Snyder Cut was really good.
No.
See, I just like that these guys say stuff that pisses you guys off. Like him and Corbett. It's so funny.
Because
Oh, man, The Dark Knight.
Rooted.
I haven't even listed The Dark Knight. That's definitely above Spider-Man 2.
No,
What?
No.
No, The Dark Knight's one of the best superhero movies ever made.
Spider-Man 2 might be my third favorite.
Did someone
Spider-Man
hit you in the
movie- or
head recently?
Superhero movie of all time.
That's what I want to know. Did someone hit you in the head recently? Like,
I mean, I have been getting headbutt by my kid. That's his new game.
The effects are showing. Is that what you're saying, Matt?
I'm just floored right now.
Mine would have to be Winter Soldier, Endgame, Spider-Man 2. That's my top 3.
Of course, Pepperoni has to chime in.
Look, if he would have said top 5, okay, cool. But top 10, that's a statement. That's a bold
Well,
statement, Cotton.
I started going through it, and I think it might be in my top 10. So I was wrong.
Good golly.
Just
the last time
easing
you've
it at number
seen it?
9.
When's the last time you've seen it?
Probably 2 years.
Wow. I could understand if you said, oh, it's been like 10, 15 years.
No, I rewatched all the Spider-Man movies when I was living in Colorado. I like Spider-Man 2. You guys I just think there's a lot of great superhero movies out there.
Spider-Man
it's one of
2
them.
had the best villain. The best. Like
Doc Ock is awesome.
Alfred Molina as Doc Ock is amazing. Like
Yeah.
that alone makes it better than the first Spider-Man because yes, Willem Dafoe was a really good Green Goblin, but his suit was absolute trash.
Yeah, his suit was weird.
Yeah, he looked like a Power Ranger villain.
Oh yeah, he doesn't look great.
Dude, I can't tell you, like, I put in Spider-Man 2 in the beginning scene of him, like, swinging through the city and stuff. I just get rock hard. Like, just instant sweatpants, rock hard. And kind of the same way with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man 2, when he's, like, free falling at the beginning of the movie, dude, I'm like, let's go. Like, there's
There's a lot of issues with the Amazing Spider-Man 2 that I have, like mainly Jamie Foxx as Electro. But I gotta say, the suit that he wears in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 might be the best Spider-Man suit I've ever seen. Like with the big eyes and like it was perfect, dude. I remember when they showed the teaser of his suit, I was like, that's it right there. That's
I think there's a lot of things to love about the Amazing Spider-Man 2. The story is crazy, but the suit is really good. There's some cool action sequences. I love Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, like the quips when he's going up against, thugs. I just love it. It feels more
my
Spider-Man.
issue with it was just a little dark. They tried to mimic the Batman stuff. Because you remember when that movie came out, like the Dark Knight trilogy was like hot at that point when the Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, and they tried to make Spider-Man a dark character, and he's just not.
Aaron, stop gay shaming me. She's over here saying, "Here we go being gay again."
What's next? Because I feel like this conversation could be its own podcast.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about Deathloop.
You could be your own podcast.
So I want to talk about this video game. It's called Deathloop that I wasn't excited about. I've seen trailers for it for about a year now, and I was just like, I don't know if this is a game for me. It's from a developer called Arcane Studios, who made the Dishonored games, if you've ever heard of those. And they're under the Bethesda umbrella. So this game's funny. Xbox bought Bethesda and ZeniMax and like all these studios that are underneath them. And the funny thing is Deathloop, this video game, had the developers had a contract with PlayStation before they got purchased. And so basically, this is a game owned by Xbox, but it's not coming to Xbox for a year because there was a contract in place before they purchased the studio. So it just released on Tuesday on PlayStation and on PC. And it's only on PS5. So for those of you who have a PS5, if you're looking for something that isn't a PS4 game, this is a good one for you to pick up. It's actually quite nice to look at, better than the trailers let on. But I've been playing it on PC, and I think it's a great time. The basic premise is that you're stuck in a time loop. You have a day you're living over and over again. You know, Groundhog's Day. We're all familiar with time loops. And you're trying to break out of it. And in order to break out of the time loop, you have to kill these 8 characters in the game all within the same day. And so basically, as you go through the loops, you're learning people's schedules. Okay, 1 or 2 of these people together, how can I kill them more efficiently? La-di-da-di-da. Cool. It's a really cool concept. And I'm loving it. I didn't think I was going to like it. And then the reviews started coming out. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't gotten a new game in a while. People are giving this 10 out of 10. Let's give it a try. And I don't know if I would currently, I'm about 6 hours into it, so I still have plenty of game left, but I don't know if I would give it a 10 out of 10, but it's really good. It's really enjoyable. So I just kind of wanted to share that on the show tonight, that I'm really enjoying Deathloop. It's fun.
It's Max's video game recommendation of the week.
Yes.
That's what we should call this segment.
That is a cute doggo, Matt. If you're listening only, check into the YouTube just to see that cute.
My dog Max wanted to make an appearance. He felt like he had something to say.
That is the third Max mentioned on this show tonight.
Does that Max, does Spider-Man 2 fit in his top 5?
Oh, there we go. There's 4 now. There's 4 Maxes mentioned on the show. Okay, that was the biggest disappointment with Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No, don't start.
I'm just saying he shares my name and he wasn't good. Anywho, Deathloop is great. You play this character named Cole. He's the bottom character in the picture here. And you're constantly being hunted by the top character. Her name is Juliana. And so she's aware of the time loop and she can come hunt you down. And it's pretty cool. You have really cool powers. One of the ones I like to use the most is I'll basically it's called Nexus, I believe. And I basically will shoot this beam at these people and it links them together. And I can link multiple people together at once. And whatever I do to one of those people happens to all of them. And so I'll go into an area and link 3 people together, sneak up behind one and kill them. And then all 3 of them drop dead. It's so satisfying. Or you can do abilities where you kind of teleport in front of you 10, 15 feet. And it's just a wild, fun ride.
What does the Rainbow Fist do?
I don't know. I still haven't unlocked everything yet. But I don't think that's a Rainbow Fist. I think that's just art.
Oh, they should call it Rainbow
I could
Fist.
be wrong. It might be an ability that I'm just not familiar with yet.
When you said
he points his fist at you and you turn gay.
Yeah, when you said that you sneak up behind him and you take him in a dark place, I thought you were going to go somewhere totally different.
That's when you use Rainbow Fist.
That's when the Rainbow Fist comes out. Yes.
So is this a game you would recommend for people,
Yes.
Max?
I would recommend it.
Are you going to pick it up, Matt?
No.
So it's good to know that Max's recommendations hold a lot of water for Matt.
Well, I lost all credibility.
Max
in
is
the last segment.
you should really play this game. No.
No, I mean, I was interested in it because I'm only interested in it for the single fact that I have a PS5 and there's nothing to play for the PS5. So the only reason it interests me is because it's a game to be like, oh man, I could play it on my PS5. But most of my time is consumed by playing Warzone on my PC or Splitgate on my PC. So I'm just like, I'm not going to sit there and put time into a single player, non-online game. So I'm not even going to waste the $60, $70 on it.
Dude, I feel you. I've got like 3 games for my PS5. That's like it.
That's
I'm
the
like,
funny
what?
thing. This game is $70 on PS5, but on PC it's 60 and it looks better. It runs better. Like it's the better version costs $10 less. It's just kind of funny to me.
This is very funny.
Sorry.
All right, Max,
Funny, I should
the
laugh.
guy who wouldn't put Spider-Man 2 in his top 10 says buy it. So take that as you will. All right, what we got next? Ah, yes. Tracy Morgan is going to be the star. Or, well, he's going to join Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito in the sequel to the movie Twins called Triplets, where he plays their triplet.
I'm so on board for this.
How this ridiculousness is going to play off, I don't know. Yeah, even Grizzly Geek is ashamed of you. He said, Max
This
said,
sounds
what?
This sounds awful.
Dude, the first one was like a dumb premise, but it's hilarious. I'm on board for so Tracy Morgan, the character that he's playing, was originally written for Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy helped write the script, and when Eddie Murphy could no longer do it, they rewrote it a little bit for Tracy Morgan. But
Oh man, I would have been way more on board if it was Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Do you notice that Eddie
me
Murphy
too.
is in a lot of things? Like, was planned. Like, do you know he was supposed to be Winston in Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters, yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's usually the topic of like Eddie Murphy is perfect for this role, and then he turns out not to do it. And then
I don't feel
He
like
did
I've
it.
seen him in hardly anything. I mean, I know he was in Coming to America, but I don't feel like he's been in much for years.
Oh no, it's been a long time.
Oh, Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
He was just in that Netflix movie, the Call Me By My Dolomite or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. So I guess he's just in stuff that hasn't been on my
Dude.
radar.
I'm not a huge SNL fan, but he did his SNL reunion like last year or something like that, and it has to be one of the most funny episodes I've ever seen. When he does what is that segment called where it's Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
Mr. Robbins.
like-
Was it Mr. Robinson's
Yeah,
neighborhood?
yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, I was laughing my ass
Yeah,
off. He talks
pretty
about
funny.
gentrification. Yeah, it's so funny, dude. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm on board for
revisits
this.
some of
It sounds like a really dumb movie that I'm gonna love, like most comedies these days.
Jay, it sounds like Jay has something to reply to that.
Oh no, I just it's like I used to when I was a kid I used to love Arnold Schwarzenegger movies like Commando, Raw Deal, the Terminators, the
Kindergarten
first two.
Cop.
Well, it's
Mr.
okay.
Kimball, are you all right?
But gosh, dude, it's like looking at him now, it's like it's sad. It's like he's
What are you talking about? Now he's the governator.
yeah, whatever. I don't know. It probably would have been cool if we just did a whole reboot of the thing. You
Yeah.
know,
I
So-
don't think this is the movie that I would be like, yeah, reboot it. Like, I don't think it makes that.
I don't
big of
think
an
this is a
impact
movie
in-
where they need a sequel to it.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not interested. This is dumb.
I want to know who sat down in that boardroom and was like, I'm gonna pitch you a sequel to the movie Twins with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're like, done. Let's go.
Yeah.
We need
Green
this
light.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just looks dumb. Like it's all right to have a little bit of dumb sometimes.
It's like that dude
Yeah.
couldn't pull his checkbook out fast enough to be like, let me write the check for this.
You guys hear that I'm using the same argument for this that you guys are using for What If, right?
I understand.
No, because the word dumb never came into What If.
Well, it's just for the fun of it. I think I read somebody said.
But it's not fun. It's just depressing. I just
What's the
why not
present
whole
triplets?
Schwarzenegger being like 97 years old.
And DeVito being mentally insane,
Yeah, DeVito's
I
like,
think Schwarzenegger looks dang
75.
good for his age, man.
I guess he does for his age, but I don't
Nobody
know.
balks at Sylvester Stallone putting on the Rambo clothes again, like a
Yes,
couple
they
years
do.
ago.
Yeah, I never
People
saw
went
that.
and
I
saw
used
that
to love
movie.
Rambo.
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't
people are
see
gonna
it.
see that movie still, but like just like in the Expendables, like he needs to stop. There's what are
Hey,
those
look
man
at one.
titties? Do his
Watching the
man
trailer,
titties have to like
it looked like he was
hang
gonna
below
break.
his belt before he stops? I just don't get it.
Mend it.
Do you see they're making another Expendables?
Yeah,
They are.
God.
Yeah.
Those are dumb, but it's the same thing like Fast and Furious. They're just meant to be for fun. Just eat some popcorn.
At least this
and
is
turn
like
your brain off.
good-hearted dumb. Like it's just stupid.
You're not going to quit
fun.
arguing until you think you convince us, huh?
I don't
Not
want to
just
see
Saying that this
movie.
is an Oscar contender.
I don't really.
this is gonna be a Tyler moment where Lance is gonna say this is the best movie ever made. Is Triplets. This is gonna be a Stuber moment.
He'll never live that down.
Solo Wookie asks, "Does anybody like Tracy Morgan?" I don't. I find him
I
I
kind of
think
annoying.
he's funny, but
He was funny
I
in
do.
30 Rock, I think, but
See, I thought he was annoying on 30 Rock. Sometimes he was funny, but for the most part, he just yelled, and I was just like, "This is worse
Yeah.
than that Adam Sandler movie that came out a few years ago."
What I like
Yeah.
about him is that he's not rich from his movies. He's rich from suing Walmart.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
A Walmart semi truck hit him and he made millions. So
Mhm.
he's just
Yeah.
acting for the hell of it. Like he's not. He's,
it fucked him
like-
up pretty bad. From
Yeah,
what
yeah,
didn't it?
they
It
were-
like messed him up.
But the money he makes from these movies is chump change compared to what Walmart paid him.
And then you got Nicolas Cage out here being like, I'm never gonna retire from acting.
You hear about that movie he's doing where he's playing himself?
Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, so it's a
No, I
movie
haven't
where
heard
he's
about that.
playing. It's a movie where he's playing himself as like an over eccentric version of himself, which I don't know how you.
As he
get
tries
more
to steal the
eccentric.
Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
So he's playing
That's the other
himself, playing a man trying to steal the Declaration of Independence.
But apparently it's supposed to be some big deal. This movie of Nick Cage playing himself, and they're making a national. What I almost said National Geographic. What's the name of his movie?
Treasure, National Treasure.
National Treasure TV series.
So this is just Pepperoni's. This is just Pepperoni's mind going, but it's actually sponsored by Pornhub, and it's a movie of Nicolas Cage playing with himself, not as himself.
Is that the end of our slides?
No,
Thanks,
no.
Pornhub.
I just thought we could look at our faces for a minute.
No, I've seen enough of your faces.
Grizzle
Sounds
Geek
good.
wants Phoebe Waller-Bridger to reprise Arnold Schwarzenegger in a full future movie.
I don't even know who that is. Someone explain to me. Who's Phoebe Waller-Bridge?
She does the show Fleabag. She's also the one that's rumored to be replacing Harrison Ford in the next Indiana Jones movie.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Female indie.
So that would be
Oh, I know.
like Laura Croft, wouldn't it?
Oh, she's
essentially?
from Solo, Max.
Yeah.
Oh, is she?
Hmm.
She must have played a
What?
smaller role. I know her face now, but I can't think of what she was in Solo.
But yeah, what we got next, Lance? I mean,
It's
Max.
We got Lock and Key.
Yeah, so Lock and Key season 2 was announced this week. Anybody excited for this?
I liked the first season, so yeah.
I did too, but I kind of felt like it's been so long between season 1 and season 2. Like, why do you care anymore? Does anybody care anymore? It's kind of like what I feel like
one thing
Stranger
I hate
Things.
about Netflix.
Stranger Things, the new season of Stranger Things is going to be the same way. It's been so long since it's been what, a year, almost 2 years since the last season of Stranger
it'll-
Things.
2 years.
Yeah.
It was
so-
July 4th, 2019.
Yeah. So who really is going to like care when it drops?
The only thing I remember from Stranger Things is 11 has superpowers and Hopper apparently died but didn't. That's all I remember.
So
And a lot of Winona Ryder going like that.
is there, do we have a release window or date for this?
They have not. It's supposed to be by the end of the year, but I don't think they gave a date.
Okay, well then I don't know. That's not. I mean, it's not great, but it's not as awful because I think the first season came out near the beginning of the pandemic, And so you take into account that
really?
things were shut down for a long time, and then they did a new season. Like that's not.
I thought it came out before that.
It was in 2020. It was around March, I think, maybe February, but it was the beginning of 2020.
I think that was the same time everyone was all hopped up on Tiger King.
Yeah, 2020.
I know for sure because we watched it in Colorado still, and I moved to Arizona in May of 2020. So I know.
Yeah, it was 2020.
Yeah.
February.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. The reason you don't remember her from Solo is she does the voice of the robot. The main.
That'll
robot.
be why. That'll be why.
So
that's sex bot. Lando's sex bot.
Yep.
But
yeah,
I don't know. There's not a lot to watch right now, is what I've noticed. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of content, so I'm down with anything, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hey fellas, I have bad news. I have to go do the pod with Travis.
So he comes in late and leaves early.
Well, he's getting his hair cut, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I need to record early because I had to go get my hair cut." And I'm like, "Oh,
it's all right. I appreciate you coming on. Anyways,
yeah, thanks for coming on. It was an unexpected surprise. Let me say from the bottom of my heart, because Lance doesn't know how to be kind to you. Thank you, you beautiful, beautiful Mexican.
You know what?
What's funny is Jay and I hang out more than probably any of, obviously not more than Max and I, but Jay and I actually go and hang out all the time.
That's true.
Again, it's keep your friends close and your enemies close.
I think this is just the thing we've done on the podcast. We've created this facade of
and over texting. Don't you guys send each other mean texts?
No,
when someone
he usually gets mad.
Well, when someone
usually
gets
mad because I've said things on the podcast that were supposed to remain confidential, and that's
you know what?
You still owe him Los Fabs.
I say something I regret. Yeah, you still owe me, by the way.
Yeah, Los Fabs, but you always have a show after our show, so
not always. I didn't that one day you owed me, but whatever. I kept that night clear.
Didn't I go to a funeral? Isn't that an invite for you?
Whatever excuses, I can accept them or whatever.
And apparently you threw him under the bus at Shang-Chi.
Yes.
All I did was
strangers.
Oh, fuck me, okay? I walk outside and I said, "What do you think of the movie?"
Yeah. And then
he probably quietly said, "Oh, it wasn't very good." And you were probably, "What do you mean it wasn't very good?" It was all as you could.
I didn't even quietly. I just he goes, and then I go, thumbs down, and he goes, "What do you mean you didn't like it?" And everybody got all wild-eyed and banged. Anyway, all right, yeah. Well, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next week because I'm going to be on here with Matt while you two go do whatever else you're going to go do.
Your
Bayside
bromance,
concert.
Thanks,
your mandate.
We're going to see Bayside.
Your annual polish each other's heads con or something. Who knows?
Yeah, buddy.
Tell Travis we said hi.
All right, see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Jay.
Yeah, see you, Jay. Thanks for coming in. All right.
Is that next week, Max?
Yeah, dude, that's next Friday.
I think I've asked you 8 or 9 times. When's the concert again? Luckily, Max had enough foresight to tell Matt that we were not going to be on the show.
Yeah. Max is on top of it, unlike you, Pepperoni.
I know there were probably 20 texts sent today, and Lance replied to none of them.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't
Lance,
reply all day.
I was out spending $550 at.
Yeah, Lance, do we have slides for tonight? Crickets. All right, I'll make the slides for tonight. Lance, are you coming in? I'm seeing in a link for the show. It was sent 30 minutes ago.
Was it on what?
Yes, it was. In the same exact feed where you replied, "Where's the link?" It was sent 4 messages earlier.
Okay. I've had a very busy week, and I apologize.
Yes,
We
apparently
love
spending
you,
$500 at Costco or Sam's Club or wherever it is you went. Well, you can go to our next one. We were supposed to have a special guest to help us review Why the Last Man, but apparently he's blackout drunk right now. We were supposed to have Stumbling Jedi join us to review Why the Last Man because he was super excited for this, and so much so that he started a conversation on our Absolute Geek Facebook page. By the way, beautiful people in the chat and listeners, if you're listening to the playback, if you are not subscribed to the Absolute Geek Facebook page, you need to do that. You can do that, and we also have the group, the Absolute Geek group, that is invite that we you have to request to be part of, because it's an exclusive
for
group.
the elites.
Yeah, it's for the elites. But that's where you can get in contact with us the quickest and have the most conversation with us. But it's for the elite group. But yeah, definitely join the Absolute Geek Facebook group. And I want to say that I am thankful for everyone in the chat, everybody listening on the playback.
The last thing?
No, on Monday, you're all beautiful people. Help us to achieve our goal of hitting 1,000 subs on YouTube by the end of the year. So if you have not subscribed to us on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe over at youtube.com/Absolute Geek Podcast. We greatly appreciate it at whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on. But all right, we were supposed to have the beautiful Stumbling Jedi joining us to talk Why the Last Man, because he was all about it. But he sends me this message. I said, "Are you still good for tonight?" He says, "I'm about to hop on and watch. I don't plan well enough to get there, though. I promise I'll get my shit together straight, be able to come on. Don't block me. Ha ha ha." So he's probably shit-faced, blackout drunk, I'm assuming.
That's never stopped Kyle.
Yeah, but Kyle's a different breed, man. So
I swear Kyle starts drinking Thursday night in preparation for Friday night show.
Probably. Well, he starts drinking Friday to prep for Saturday for his own show. So,
the constant train of drinking into the weekend.
Yep. But Why the Last?
I haven't seen this show. I can't say anything about it.
You haven't seen the first two episodes of Why the Last Man? Have you watched it, Max?
I haven't.
I started watching and I was like, "Oh, my wife might like this show," so I stopped it because we don't have anything to watch together.
Well, I've got some shows for you to watch together. Just hold tight. The premise of Why the Last Man, though, is there's an event that happens with anything with a Y chromosome, whether it's a human, animal, basically the male form of any species, just all of a sudden dies, except for one person. And so his mother happens to be the president, so it's all trying to get him to a safe location to do testing on him to find out why he wasn't affected and dead, but everyone else was. So that's the first two episodes.
He's a transvestite.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got it. So the first two episodes aired on Monday. I believe it airs on Mondays on FX, but you can also watch it on Hulu. So if you have Hulu and you want to catch the replay, it's there. It's a very interesting show. The first two episodes are up. I would say definitely check it out or read the graphic novel. There's a little bit difference between the graphic novel and the show, but not so much yet. But you can definitely pick up I think it's 5 volumes in hardcover for a reasonable price. But Why the Last Man is a new FX show that I would recommend checking out, because at some point we're going to have Stumbling Jedi on here to talk about it, but he's passed out drunk somewhere apparently. But
I think he's 3 hours ahead of us too. He might just be asleep.
Yeah, he is 3 hours ahead of us. But
where's he at?
He is in I want to say Tennessee, he's in Tennessee. But yeah. All right, we can go on to the next, since you guys didn't watch it. So speaking of shows you should watch, if you guys have not watched Clickbait on Netflix, highly recommend that show.
Oh yeah, I do want to see that one. That's the one where the guy gets kidnapped, right?
Yep. That's super good
or something.
Mm-hmm. Also, What We Do in the Shadows season 3 started. That show is fantastic. Of course, Ted Lasso on Apple TV.
I haven't had a chance to watch the latest episode yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
I really didn't care for today's episode. And then also the show, it's a show our good friend Stephen Amell, you might know him from Arrow, is doing on Stars, called Heels, about pro wrestling.
It looks good, but
so good. You can actually watch the first 3 episodes on YouTube. They released the first 3 full episodes on YouTube, so you can watch it there.
Oh, nice.
So super good show.
I guess I can do that, and then if it is good, I'll wait for the season to be over and do like a week trial to Stars.
Yeah. So
that might be the way.
I already used my week's trial to Stars.
And do a new email.
Oh,
it's easy.
True. Good. I wish I was as corrupt as you, Max. I could figure out these things.
Also, if you're listening live, If you're listening live and you're planning to try and to attend the Comic-Con special event, the San Diego Comic-Con special event over Thanksgiving weekend, tickets go on sale tomorrow morning.
What are they
10
doing?
a.m. Arizona time. So they're doing like a smaller convention. And so it's not going to be as big as San Diego, but it's like a smaller, little more intimate convention they're doing. But I don't know how much tickets are going to be, but it's worth getting on to look at and pre-regging and all that if you're going to do it. Because, I mean, if you only have to spend $50, you get early access to bypasses for San Diego 2022. So it helps you get into the early badge registration for San Diego 2022 if you don't already have passes.
Is there any notable things happening at this?
They have not released much about it. All we know is that it's a small, more intimate con. They're going to vastly reduce the number of tickets that are being sold. And I just got the email today that tickets go on sale tomorrow. So there you go. Cool. If you're looking for San Diego Comic-Con. If you're listening to this on the playback, you're too late. Sorry. Hopefully, if you were trying to get in, you did. If not, better luck next time.
But nice.
Do you guys have anything you're watching or you want to shout out?
Lucifer.
That show sucks.
Oh, dude, I love that show. That's one of my favorite shows, dude. I got one episode left of the final season, and it's better than
Spider-Man 2.
Oh my god,
no!
I'm kidding. I haven't even watched it. I just wanted to get a rise out of you too.
I love Lucifer, dude. I love that show. It's like the only decent DC show that's wasn't on a streaming service.
Yeah, I've heard you've told me really good things about it. It's something I need to get caught up on. For me, I haven't really been watching anything. Well, that's not true. I started a Marvel movie rewatch like 2 weeks ago. It's like I'll put it on in the background when I'm working because I've seen them so many times, or like when I'm playing Destiny, I'll have them on in the background. And I'm on Far From Home, so I'm at the very end of my rewatch. I did them in chronological order, and you know what? I noticed a few things as I was rewatching it, and it was kind of fun. Such as I've crapped on Captain Marvel on podcasts a lot. It's not as bad as I have said. It's not the best movie, but it's okay. It's pretty good. And then Thor isn't great, but I do love the beginning sequences. I think it's pretty cool when he goes and fights the frost giants, and like that stuff is just kind of fun to see their interpretation of Norse mythology. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of issues with that movie.
It was a bad design choice, bleaching his eyebrows.
Grizzle Geek says I'm making his left eye twitch. Is it because I said something bad about Spider-Man 2? I was kidding. It's a great movie.
Ish says, if you guys haven't seen Dark Crystal Age of Resistance on Netflix yet, drop everything now and go watch it. Also, Last Kingdom on Netflix.
Oh, dude, Last Kingdom is
dope.
Great.
And Ozark's is super good too.
Ozark is good.
Isn't the final season supposed to drop soon? Like, when is that coming out?
For which one?
Ozark.
I thought it was coming next year.
Is it next year? That's another one that feels like the last season was forever ago.
Because the reason I had to ask, the Last Kingdom's doing their last season as well, so I didn't know.
Oh, really?
Asking about. Yeah, and that should be coming next year as well.
Also, they just announced season 4 of Ozark.
So it's not the last season coming up?
No,
I didn't think it was the last one.
They've had 3 seasons already that have played. Right?
Yeah, I think no, they haven't. Have they? Let's find out. If only we had this awesome thing at our fingertips called the internet.
Well, while you Google it, I have to address a comment. Mike is saying I'm up with Captain Marvel, but down with Spider-Man 2. I am not down on Spider-Man 2. I absolutely love it. I just made a comment that there are a lot of great superhero movies. That's it. That's all I was saying.
And then you
not a knock on
Spider-Man, a bunch of crappy ones.
I named a few that you guys don't like, but I love them. I like DC. It is what it is. But I love Spider-Man 2. Don't hate me.
Then you should hate
Mike.
the DC movies if you love DC.
No, that doesn't track.
They're not true to like any of the source material.
Doesn't track. But The Last Kingdom is freaking awesome. Oh, and Aaron says Matt's favorite show is Handmaid's Tale. And you know what?
No, it is not.
Handmaid's Tale is awesome. That show is great.
You don't like that show, Matt?
No, that show puts me to sleep.
Dude, I will absolutely, and I'm happy to admit it. That show, when I binged it a few months ago, had me in tears like nearly every episode. It was so dang good.
Yeah, Matt, there's been 3 seasons of Ozark. The last season 3, episode 10 was the 2020, March 27th.
Season 4 is going to be split into 2, and each half of the season will have 7 episodes. And they're still in production, expected to take until 2020 or until October 2021 to finish.
Sorry,
filming.
this is for
It's
Ozark?
the last season.
Yeah.
It's the last season, right? That's what I was told. Is that it's ending after
I'm assuming so. Just another thing that Ish threw out there. There is there's a Comic-Con coming. They're putting on November 20th in Old Town Scottsdale called Old Man Con. It'll be Old Man Con 3. It's at the Legion Post 44. I went to the first one. It's a great convention, but definitely make sure your wallets are fat, because I've never walked into a Comic-Con where I felt like I was priced out of everything in there until I went to Old Man Con. So it's dude, they've got some crazy books that you've probably never seen other than on the internet, and it's a lot of good stuff, man. They got crazy
Is it all books, or do they have like figures and stuff too?
I can't remember. I think it was all books when I went, because it's kind of an old school convention. It's more like the old school, like it's an old school VFW convention where it's just all comics, small vendors, no real no panels or anything like that. It's all just comics, people trying to push comics. Old man books, he says. Yes, absolutely. Gold and Silver Age and Copper Age stuff, and like you're talking like Spider-Man 50, early Amazing Spider-Mans. Like you're talking like every key you've ever seen in high grades, and it's
nice. So if you're a fanatic about comics, this could be a cool thing.
It is, dude. I'll tell you, like when we went to the first one, it was Grizzle Geek should remember, because that's where I first met him and Doug for the first time. It's like you're sitting there in Scottsdale, and here you come and looking at books, and you got dudes rolling up in Maseratis with like briefcases full of money to go buy books, and dudes dropping mad amounts of money on high value, high dollar books. So it's cool for the nostalgia feel of it, and if you want to see some big boy books, that's what we call them, big boy books. That's where you got to go. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. Just to go say hi to Ish and everyone over at Fantastic Worlds that'll be there. It's and Grizzle Geek said could not afford anything but lunch was good. Yeah. So, but it was a lot of fun. It's a nice convention, man. But
no, I like comic books, Solo. I'm just not. I don't go and collect them. I usually just read them for free off the internet.
Solo Wookiee's calling us out for not reading books. I read books without pictures. I'm sophisticated. I don't need pictures, Solo Wookiee.
Nah.
I would say that comics are for the pictures, not even like, dude, this is some of the best artwork I've ever seen.
The artwork is awesome.
But if you're in the Phoenix or Scottsdale or Valley, November 20th, go check out Old Man Con. I'm sure it'll be a lot of good time. Go spend your Christmas money on it. Like, you don't need to get gifts for your family. Go buy that comic book you've been looking for. That's what you gotta do at Old Man Con. Go buy.
They don't have any figures, huh?
No, it's like an old school comic convention, man, where it's just like books and vendors and dealers and
it sounds like a J type place.
Yep, treat yourself. That's right, Ish. Treat yourself. He said 6 national dealers and 2 local shops. There you go. So it's gonna be a good time. Go just say what up to Ish and be like, look, you forgot your roots, man. You started being in this chat every week, and now somehow you ended up over on the traders with MCM. So what are you doing with your life, Ish? You don't need to be on MCM. You come home, Ish. He's at Old Man Con too. Had some vendors with some figures and cards and etc. Cool.
We should maybe film like a side episode, just kind of like going through that con. Like not a podcast, but like.
It's not like I don't have the equipment just sitting here that I've been waiting to use. So
yeah, let's go. I broke my drone though. Sorry.
I don't need your drone.
My drone would have been cool. I need an excuse to use it, and then I broke it.
We need to get Ish on this show more often and get him away from the MCM crew. We got to steal him away. He's a valuable asset. But all right, let's go ahead. While we're talking comics, let's go ahead and do our top 5, or well, I should say my top 5 comics of the week, because it's been established here that you guys don't read comics.
I do
on the internet. You listen to me be like, you should check this out, and then I get a message. Hey, what was that book you were talking about? I'm gonna download it right now. Or you go to Jay and go, man, what should I read? I really want to get into comics. What should I read? Yeah,
well, dude, it's daunting. Like, because there's so many arcs and things like that I walk into a comic store and I'm just like overwhelmed. I need. Dude, it's daunting.
Yeah, Lance, you're doing better than me.
Yeah,
we can go comic book shopping one day, and I'll hold your hand and I'll be like, read that, don't read that,
It's not like from when I was a kid, man. You walk in, you go get Spider-Man, and it's Spider-Man. Now there's like 5 different books about Spider-Man.
We can put a little vest with a leash on it so you don't get lost. It will be all right.
And holy shit, they're more expensive than they used to be.
Yes.
You used to get a Spider-Man book for $2. Now it's like $7 or something like that.
Yeah, that's about right. Agree, Lance Pepperoni. She's been dying to call you Lance Pepperoni for like the last 3 weeks.
My whole life.
Because that's how you are in my phone, is Lance Pepperoni. Yeah. And she was like, is his last name really Pepperoni? And I was like, no. So I told her the story. And she's been dying for the last 3 weeks to call you Lance Pepperoni. She's like, is it okay if when we send out our wedding invitations, if I address it Lance Pepperoni? I was like, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Absolutely. In the Pepperoni family.
Yeah.
Max has me as a pepperoni pizza in his phone, don't you, Max?
I used to.
Was it Pizza the Hut? I know Kyle has you as Pizza the Hut.
Yes, that was. I gave Kyle the idea to make him Pizza the Hut, and that's exactly what he did. Let's pull up a picture of Pizza the Hut. We'll show you exactly.
But Aaron says math collection for our daughter is already huge, and she's not even here yet. It is pretty big.
Yeah, man. For the longest time, it was actually 2 weeks ago that I finally updated it. But yeah, for the longest time, it was this bad boy right here.
Pizza the Hut. Yeah.
That was your
awesome
picture.
I know Ish has it, so you should get it too. The tracksuit from the Pizza Hut commercials that what's his name wears. God, I can't think of his name right now. The actor's name right now. He was in Hot Tub Time Machine. He's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. No. He's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine as the thief. God, I can't think of his name now. Max, you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right?
I'm not caught up, but yeah.
He's in he plays he's in every season. God dang it.
Wait, are you talking about Pimento?
Oh, it's oh fuck, I'm looking at a picture of him right now. What the fuck is his name?
Yeah, you're talking about
he's
Pimento,
also
right?
in The Office.
Yeah, he's in The Office too.
Shit, hold on. What the hell's his name? Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson, yes. The Pizza Hut commercial, the Craig Robinson, where he's got the Pizza Hut tracksuit on. Yeah, Pizza Hut tracksuit. You never seen that?
No, I've seen the one where he's painting a picture of a pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know you're talking about now.
Ish has it. Ish has the tracksuit too.
His character on Brooklyn Nine-Nine is so freaking funny.
Jerry, yeah, he plays Jerry Judy.
Yeah. Judge Judy.
Oh, I never realized
or
that
Doug
was a
Judy.
that he was
Doug
wearing.
Judy is what.
It's or Doug Judy. Yes, Jerry Judy. That's a football player. Doug Judy
from Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Do you remember Pizza Hut used to be like they had the fire brick ovens and you come in there and they had the salad bar and you'd sit down like it was like an actual like sit-in restaurant. Like you had a waiter and everything. Now Pizza Hut's gross. I
miss those days.
Pizza Hut's nasty now.
I miss the red cups from Pizza Hut.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pizza Hut is nice now. I miss the old school Pizza Hut where you went in there and they had all you could eat pizza buffet and they had the little Pac-Man tabletop game where you could sit down and play Pac-Man right there. Yeah. It was an event when you went to Pizza Hut when we were kids.
Oh, that was like fancy dining.
Yeah.
I lived in Gilbert as a kid, dude. It was like the only nice restaurant for miles.
Ish says,
No, dude,
dude, I miss old Pizza Hut, but the new Detroit style is pretty dank.
Their crust seems like they just dipped it in butter and like it was like pre-packaged.
I don't know, something about that zinging, their zang and their sauce just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get to my comics here. Go ahead and give me number 5, Max. Number 5 this week was The Trial of Magneto. Number 2, heroes from the multi-universe come to Krakoa for Memorial. Now that they've got to fight, Magneto pushes Krakoa and the Counts to the brink. Also, there's something wrong with the body. So the whole premise of The Trial of Magneto is someone has killed Scarlet Witch, and they're blaming Magneto for it. So it's been a good read so far. Only 2 issues in if you want to jump on, but it's one of the only X titles I'm reading right now. So
the only good one.
Yeah, all the other ones have kind of fallen off. Go ahead and hit me with number 4. Eternals. Thanos rises. The Eternals are created, not born. They have families, but their families make no new children. It's simple, not what Eternals do. Some of them, though, they could find a way to change that and believe it would be for the best. They were terribly, terribly wrong. It's a good read too if you're looking to get into Eternal comics before the movie comes out and kind of get familiar with it and understand that Thanos is actually a member of the Eternals. It's a good jumping on point. It kind of gives you the history of the Eternals and runs through everything. So it's highly recommended. It is a good read, especially if you're looking to get in on the ground level and have some sort of understanding of the Eternals before the movie comes to theaters. Go ahead, number 3. Batman Urban Legend 7. Batman Beyond. In Neo Gotham, Bruce Wayne lies murdered in the Batcave. Terry McGinnis, Bruce Wayne's final protege, will travel into the dark heart of Neo Gotham to find who killed the greatest hero the city has ever known. Super self-contained book. It's a square-bound book. It's a single story, but it is a very good read if you're missing some Batman Beyond action where he is. It's Terry McGinnis, like I said, searching for the murderer of Bruce Wayne. It was a good revisit to Batman Beyond and just re-solidified my reasoning of why I love Terry McGinnis and why I think his big screen debut needs to come sooner rather than later.
I agree.
Speaking of, did you hear they're talking about a Michael Keaton solo Batman movie?
No.
I just read that yesterday on I forget what site it was on, but it was
would that be
it wasn't We Got This Covered.
Batman Arthritis Night.
It was no, but the first thought that popped in my head was Batman Beyond. If they do a Michael Keaton solo thing, like it wouldn't really be solo, but it would kind of be a solo thing.
Oh, dude, from being from Detroit, Jets Pizza, yes-ish. Jets Pizza. Oh my God, I miss it so much. I haven't tried the one out here yet, but that's one thing from Michigan I miss is Jets. So good.
I didn't realize you were from Michigan.
What?
And you're a Packers fan?
Absolutely.
Why are you not a Lions fan?
We'll get into that later. We'll get into that after the show. Remind me and I'll explain it to you.
Yeah, because I just assumed you were from Wisconsin.
No. My family is. That's where my dad's from, but I'll get into it on here real quick. I don't care. But so Michigan is kind of split. So when you're down, like I'm from northern Michigan, so when you're down more the Detroit area, that's all mostly Lions fans. Anyone northern Michigan and up to the UP are mostly Packers fans. I'm a Packers fan because my grandfather was a minister in Wisconsin. He was friends with Bart Starr and a lot of the Packers. My dad actually watched the moon landing at Fuzzy Thurston, who was a Packers player's house. He grew up with their kids in Lombardy and all that. So it's kind of a family thing being a Packers fan because our family was so close with a lot of those guys. So
that's really
so
cool.
Did you want to die after their performance last week?
Yes, I did. I did. I certainly did.
Aaron Rodgers looked like a meth head that I once met that lived in my apartment complex.
Dude, there's a good meme around him from his press conference going on that says Aaron Rodgers looks like a dude who steals catalytic converters. So Jets is huge in Michigan, yes.
Our two teams had very different performances this week. The
Yes,
Cardinals was like one of the most fun games I've ever watched. And the Packers, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But yes, Detroit pizza is good. Jets is huge in Michigan. Jets is so good. And I like Little Caesars too, but I don't think any pizza place out here, any Little Caesars franchise touches Little Caesars from Michigan. So, all right, Max, hit me with number 2. Kang the Conqueror. A young, rebellious, and idealistic king finds himself in ancient Egypt, where an older version of himself is ruling with an iron fist as the pharaoh Rama-Tut. When Moon Knight draws young Kang into a battle against himself, tragedy strikes. Great book. If you want to know more about Kang the Conqueror before he, after seeing him in Loki, before he makes his appearance in Ant-Man and Ant-Man Quantumania, it's a good jumping on point. It kind of takes you through the history and origins a little bit of Kang, where you follow one specific version of Kang in this timeline as he visits his old lives, and he has a run-in with, like you said, Rama-Tut, one of his old lives and entities, and a battle with Apocalypse ensues. It's really, really good read to get caught more up on Kang the Conqueror. And then number 1 this week was Primordial. Great book. It's a different take on the space program. In 1957, the USSR launches the dog Leica, whatever, into Earth's orbit. 2 years later, the U.S. responds by sending monkeys Abel and Baker. These animals never return, but unbeknownst to everyone, they did not die in orbit. They were taken, and now they're coming home. So yeah, it's basically about this scientist who gets assigned to a specific position at NASA to run the space program, he thinks, but it's actually to decommission all of the machinery and to tell them what can be used for further military ops or what should just be thrown away. And he finds a reading that everyone thought these monkeys that they shot into space were dead, but they weren't. They were taken, and kind of what's going on with that. It's by Jeff Lemire. Super good. I would definitely recommend checking it out. Issue 1 was a good read. And that was my top 5 comics this week. And that was always, like we say here at the Absolute Geek Podcast, support your local comic book store. If you're in the Valley, go check out Ish at Fantastic Worlds. Go check out Drawn to Comics, Mike and the boys over at Samurai, Matt at Surprise. Any of your local comic book shops, go in there, pick up some books, and get invested. It's a good hobby to be in.
Is Greg still around?
Greg's Comics is still around. Yep.
That's the place I used to go to.
So there you go.
I walked in there the other day, though, and it felt like the walls were going to fall down around me.
Why?
Everything's just stacked so high, and it's like really
it's just small. He's got a small store. But.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into Titans. Final topic of the evening, Titans.
I want to hear from Max on this one first, because every week he's like, that was amazing. And this one you were like, right?
Did I say something in our chat about it?
I don't think you said anything about Titans this week.
I thought you said you were a little like it wasn't.
I thought that was last week.
Yeah, last week I did. I wasn't super into last week.
It was this week, because my response was, they had boobs in it, though.
Oh, that's right. That was this week. Okay. I didn't dislike the episode. I think last week I mentioned that I was really hoping that they were going to wrap up the Jonathan Crane story arc this week, because again, I've mentioned it like 4 weeks in a row now. Still no Raven, and we're 8 episodes into a 15-episode season. So where the heck is she? Like, I want to see Raven. That's one of my big.
I think she's coming.
Well, I'm sure she is, but
giggity.
I think it's going to be like when shit hits the fan, and her and I always forget her name, Diana's niece or whatever her name is,
Donna Troy,
right?
Oh,
Donna.
Troy. Yeah,
they're going to come running in, and they're going to be the ones that save the day, like when shit hits the fan.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if she was around, things wouldn't have taken as long. Like,
well, isn't that what she's doing?
Fully
she's
powered
trying to get
is
her
really
back.
Powerful. Yeah, Raven's trying to get Donna Troy back. I'm just saying that if Raven was on the team right now, I don't think it would have taken 8 episodes to take Red Hood and Scarecrow down. So for me, this episode,
you not like that hot Connor on Blackfire action.
I didn't dislike that. I didn't say that. I thought the episode was good. It was just kind of a middle of the road. It felt a little bit less exciting. I liked
was
some
really
things about
weird.
it.
when he goes and like talks about his problems to the two performers. Like,
dude, I thought that was
alley.
so good because it shows how conflicted he is. It shows
but
that
it was
he really
weird.
doesn't want to be that person. So he gets these two people to role play Hank and Hawk and Dove, Hank and Don, and he's basically apologizing to them because he can't really apologize. I thought that was fantastically
I thought the
done.
content of it was really good too. I liked the character building.
It was just weird. I didn't know places like that exist. Where you put a quarter in and a window pops up and you watch two people have sex.
Lance, you need to go to Vegas, buddy. You need to broaden your
I've been to Vegas hundreds of times. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it existed either. I just thought
that's in the back alleys, dude.
The only thing I was mentioning was that, like, Lance was joking that it's an HBO show now, so of course they're going to show some boobies, and so that was just my joke. I'm like, it didn't feel like there was any need to, but whatever. I liked the character building in that moment. I like where Jason is going. I'm just, I don't know. I just wasn't impressed this week. I didn't dislike it. I just, like if we use the cow trencher scale, it was a 3 out of 5. Like that's.
I like the introduction of Tim and how it shows how smart he is and resourceful he is by breaking down, like going to saying that Dick Grayson was Robin and now Nightwing because of the arrow, the acrobat move. Yeah, his one move, and pinpointing that Jason was the new Robin done the way he was. So it was just cool to see him break that down and then eventually get shot in the chest. But
that was the thing. Tim Drake, I was liking,
but he didn't die, right?
An idiot.
No, and Connor's like, let me use my X-ray vision. Okay, the bullet went clean through, but don't let me use my heat vision to cauterize the wound or anything.
Thing.
He's bleeding out. Let me go into his backpack and grab this sweater. Don't let me cauterize the wound or nothing. I just gotta say too, man. Like I'm gonna throw it out on our show. I hear a lot of other shows talk about Titans and Barbara Gordon and say, why is she always with her legs crossed? She doesn't have her legs crossed. She's missing a leg. She's got one leg.
They don't realize that?
No, I've heard a bunch of different shows refer to her as saying, like, why she always got her legs crossed? Why she's always got her legs crossed? Because she's missing a leg. Yes. It shows it in one of the episodes when she's sitting in bed. You can see the nub. That's why she's only got one leg. She's only got.
I'm enjoying the her and Dick romance. I like that. But I had one other. This is a minor gripe, but at the end of the episode, all this water comes spilling through the ceiling, and she had a leak there the whole time, and it was dripping on her computer. Why didn't you have a maintenance crew in there fixing that crap?
There was a scene with she got in a whole argument with the maintenance crew while she was on the phone with Dick. That it was the 7th time they've been there.
You know what? Maybe I was working when I watched this episode. I don't remember that at all.
It was a whole exchange.
Yeah.
She's yelling at the maintenance guy, and Dick keeps going, What are you saying? And she's like, not you. And she's yelling at the maintenance guy. Guy's been there like 7 times.
But now all the fear toxin is being leaked into the water supply of Gotham. So
yeah, that was straight up Batman Begins story arc there.
It's all going to get crazy now because you're going to have a city of no fear.
Where have we seen that before? I feel like in 2005 there was a movie that had that kind of plot.
You talking about Batman Begins?
Exactly. Yeah.
Didn't you just make the joke 20 seconds ago?
I did. No one said anything. I had to reiterate.
I didn't know it required response.
Yeah. Nightwing Begins.
Oh, let me tell the punchline to my joke and then tell my joke.
But I think Titans has been so good in season 3.
I like it.
The only character I feel like isn't getting their shine is Gar. Like I feel like Gar should get a little bit more play other than just trying to be the voice of reason.
Yeah.
But
his character is confusing because it almost seems like he doesn't fit in with the whole narrative of the show. Like he's just kind of there a lot of the time. Like it seems like him and Connor are competing for the same space on the show, doesn't it?
I think it's more like him and Connor are just background characters, and they don't have, because in this Starfire, Dick, Blackfire like story angle, and they're just kind of there as because they got nothing better to do.
Yeah, can we also
That's
talk
probably
about
why
the fact...
Raven's not there, because Raven would she would overstage the two of them too.
Can we also talk about the fact that I don't know exactly how old he is, but Connor's like 4. So Blackfire's having sex with a 4-year-old, and that's a little creepy.
And they're aliens.
But he's a sexy 4-year-old man.
Yeah, he's Kryptonian. He's half Kryptonian. He doesn't,
That's
those
what I was
rules
going to say,
don't
though.
apply.
They're both aliens, so pedophilia isn't as big of an issue in alien races, I guess.
A hybrid.
I don't know.
He's half Lex Luthor, so he's not
That's
full
true.
alien.
Yeah, but
it was just
their
something
laws
funny
don't
I
matter.
thought as I was watching it. I'm like, how old is this kid?
Do you have a lot of familiarity with Superboy, Matt, from the comics? So he's half Lex, half Clark, right? So is there ever a point where he turns bad?
I'm not
the half Lex
I mean,
part.
I know there's a lot of him being conflicted about it and a lot of confliction between the two parts of it, but there's so many Superboy comics out there that I can't say for sure. Ish would be a better person to ask that question to. I know of a lot of Superboy stuff
a couple times.
Yeah, I know a lot of Superboy stuff, but like it's not like Superman and Superboy and that genre and family have never been one I've kept up on because I can't stand Superman. Like he's just so overpowered. I can't do it.
See what Solo said?
4 is the new 25. Yeah. All right, Solo.
I've just been trying to figure out, because what these DC shows always do is it's like first half of the season's one story, second half of the season is the next story. And it seems like he's said several times, half of me is evil or something to that effect. So I'm trying to think, is the second arc going to be him and Blackfire like turning evil? But I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out where it's going.
I'm hoping no. We already saw a Titan turn bad this season. Like, I don't need to see that twice.
I like how he admitted to Blackfire that he's a virgin. It's my first time. She's like, with a Tamaranian? He's like, no, ever. It was hot.
Well, you're 4, dude.
We broke the bed.
If you've had a lot of chances in your 4 years of life, more power to you.
Hey, man, he's just been an incubator for a long time, all right?
Yeah, well, his only friend was
he
the
has
dog.
Needs.
I sure as hope his first time wasn't with the dog.
He wants to crush some Tamaranian punang. So you can't get mad at him for it.
So I thought they were teasing in the first season that Starfire and Dick were going to have a relationship together. Now that Barbara's in it, and
they did at one point. Don't they knock boots in season 1?
They do,
or season 2. They
do at one point.
2. Yeah.
And then I think they just kind of realize it's not a good fit and they move on.
So Loki says in the cartoons he does for a little bit, but I can't remember in comics. I don't read much of the Connor line. Yeah, see? Same. Superboy sucks. Superman sucks too.
I just like that they basically stole the outfit from Smallville. Like it's identical to what Tom.
Well, that's kind of what Superboy's outfit was. It's just that, well, at least in the more New 52 stuff, that black t-shirt with the Superman symbol.
Yeah, I always remember him like in a leather jacket. Is that not a thing?
That is like the 90s Superboy.
Oh, see? It shows
you're old.
How long I've been out of it. Like that punk rocker, grease punk look.
I applaud Titans because Titans is really good. It tries to stay as close to the source material for the characters as it can. I liked the whole breakdown with Crane and his mother in this episode. I liked the whole like Jason thinking that he was trying to go home and reach out to Dick, but being double crossed again by Crane as Crane was listening. I liked all the stuff with Tim Drake wanting to be the next Robin. It was all really good stuff. So I mean, if you're not watching Titans, I gotta recommend it highly. It's worth getting an HBO Max subscription for. So
yeah, I really like the show. I wasn't as hot on this episode, but that's not like it was bad. I just, it was a
not
little bit
only
less
that, but
good.
once this is done, Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol is next week. I think it's next Friday.
Oh, is it? Oh, dude, I'm so excited. Both of these shows are enough of a reason to get HBO Max.
But now that you know, Lance, that if you ever had a problem that you can't talk to anybody in your family or about, you can go to a strip club, put in a quarter, and have some strippers reenact your fantasy and talk about your
Those weren't
problems.
strippers. That was live porn.
Okay, well, porn stars act out and talk about your problems, all right? In the long run, it's probably less expensive than a therapist, you know? And you can see some sweet boobies at the same time, so, you know.
I recognize that girl from somewhere. She's not from Westworld, is she?
I don't think so.
But heck yeah.
I do like the show. I look more forward to this than I do What If.
I look forward to this and Ted Lasso.
Good old Ted.
And yet I always forget that Ted Lasso comes out on Friday.
Yeah.
We usually end up watching it after Matt says on the show, but Ted Lasso was great.
Dude, that's the first thing I do when I wake up. I set my alarm. I start work at 7:30. I set my alarm for 6. I get up so I can watch Ted Lasso before I have to start work.
That's awesome.
Love that show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
I watch Turner and Hooch.
Oh my God, with fucking Josh
Peck,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a really funny show. It's stupid, but it's something new.
Why do I feel like I'm not surprised you would watch Turner and Hooch?
There's sometimes that, seriousness can be thrown out the window, and I just need something that's easy to watch. And
so that's when I go to like adult shows like What We Do in the Shadows or, Dave, or just like
but you got
shows like that.
I watch all of those shows. Like I've watched everything. So it gets to the point where I have nothing to watch. So then I start going to these like not weird. Turner and Hooch is not weird, but like stuff that I wouldn't typically watch.
Like I just got finished rewatching Letterkenny for the umpteenth time. But
I'm watching Lois and Clark right now.
Yeah.
Old Superman show.
Or trashy reality TV like Jersey Shore.
I can't stand that, dude. I'll never watch it. I can't do reality TV. But yeah, Lois and Clark, dude. I've been rewatching all the old. I watched
whoa.
series. What?
You can't do reality TV. Judge Judy is reality TV.
Yeah, you watch Judge Judy for God's sake.
You love
I haven't watched
Judy.
Judge Judy in a while. But yes, Judge Judy is awesome.
I bet you still have a ton of episodes on your DVR, don't you?
No, since we switched YouTube to this YouTube TV, I don't have any.
You've got YouTube TV now?
Yeah.
Womp, womp, womp.
You can get it. I just haven't set to record any because I hadn't watched it. Dude, I could set it to record right now, and tomorrow I'd have like 50 episodes. Like they play on like 4 networks. No, it's not about the reality part. It's Judge Judy is a badass, and she can put her in a fight with Superman, dude, and she will kill Superman. Like that woman is ruthless.
Yeah. I like the HGTV stuff. I like watching that with my wife. That's my reality TV.
Oh my God, you're one of those.
I don't mind it.
I hate HGTV. I can't do it.
But yeah, Lois and Clark, dude, there's some dumb storylines.
Solo Wookie really wants us to read his comment because he's done it 3 times now. There's a ton of good stuff on HBO Max. You are correct.
Yes.
Dude,
I don't know if there's a glitch on your phone, but that is the 3rd time in like 5 minutes he put that up. So.
A Clint Eastwood movie dropped today on HBO.
Yeah, Cry Macho.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cry Macho. That dude needs to quit acting. Ish says Homestead Rescue makes you feel good about America. That family's unreal.
I'm going to have to check that out.
It's on Discovery, though, isn't it?
2021's been a weird year for America, so I'm going to check that out. I'm going to get some good feels.
I watch shows like let's see. My weekly TV consumption goes wrestling or football on Monday. Tuesday is Deadliest Catch. I like Deadliest Catch a lot. Wednesday is What If and wrestling and Riverdale. Thursday.
Watching Riverdale.
Thursday is What We Do in the Shadows, and it was What We Do in the Shadows, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Titans. But Brooklyn Nine-Nine ended yesterday. Right? Dave too, yep. and then Friday is Ted Lasso. So
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's already done?
yeah, it ended yesterday.
Wait, already?
How many
Oh,
episodes
Yep.
did they have?
9.
Yeah, they did 2 every week. I just didn't realize it. Did you like how it ended? Because I have not been that hot on this season. I only got like 4 episodes.
It ends in the last episode is a heist episode, so it was pretty good.
All right.
I always like the heist
catch up on
episodes.
it.
No ish. I do not watch NXT on Tuesdays. I am pretty sour on all WWE product right now. AEW, I think, blows them out of the water. So I still watch Monday Night Raw, but I still kind of, especially with like the reboot of NXT, it's kind of like taking me away from it, and I'm kind of sour on WWE product right now.
WWE's probably, they're losing like all their people, right?
They've fired a bunch of people, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised
So
if they're not around much longer.
You guys watch a lot more than me. You're listening to all these shows every day of the week, and I'm like, I got What If on Wednesday, I got Titans on Thursday, Ted Lasso on Friday. That's it. That's all I'm doing every week.
Like, the reason I can't get into NXT is because of just like, I feel like all their talent's gone. Like Velveteen Dream was good. Like, I know he was embattled in issues, but like all their good wrestlers are gone. They're either main roster duds, no longer with the company. I can't get behind their new storylines with like their hit row factions, and the way they took an awesome wrestler like Johnny Gargano and made him a joke, and Tommaso Ciampa. It just like the way they've gone has really soured me on NXT, where I just can't. Like, their takeovers were badass. Like, NXT was what I used to look forward to, but I can't do it anymore. Most WWE product now is just terrible. All of Matt's watches, I think wrestling is the worst. Yeah. They do have a good ladies roster. I will give you that ish.
So Saturday I watched 2 or 3 college games. Sunday I watched 3 or 4 NFL games. I always watch the Monday night game. Tuesday, I don't know what I watch on Tuesday. Probably just a lot of Sports Center and stuff. Wednesday, What If, Turner and Hooch. Thursday, Titans. Friday, Ted Lasso.
But you notice one, nobody said Legends of Tomorrow, and nobody said The Flash.
Because they suck.
They did. They used to be so good, and now they're just.
Did I send you guys? I think it was
both those shows were. Yeah, I watched
College Humor or something like that.
I
so
think
bad.
like the first 2 seasons of all those shows are like pretty good, and then they just drop off. Like even Supergirl was good for like the first 2 seasons, and then they just drop off. It's like they lose. That's why Titans has been, because this is the 3rd season of Titans, right? And Titans has been pretty good. Like, it hasn't had that drop off point. And I don't know if it's because Berlanti's not as involved or what, but those CW shows, the one that Anna and I really like on the CW right now is the one, I think it's called In the Dark, where she's blind. Have you seen that?
No.
That's a really good show. She's blind.
Hey, Corbin, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man.
Corbin's in the chat. He says he
Corbin
watches the CW shows. He says, no, just joking. Yeah, they're right. They suck.
I never thought I'd hear Corbin say anything from DC
Right?
sucks. That dude loved Batwoman.
Yep.
Should I ban him?
No.
It's the epitome of bad.
It's good to see you, Corbin. One of these days, maybe you can come on, jump on with us. That'd be fun to have you on the show.
Yeah, Max, you've never met him in real life, have you? Just on
no,
we
set something up last year, and then something got in the way. We were unable to meet, and it's been a rough year for Corbin. I haven't had a chance to meet him yet.
Well, I was hoping Tucson was happening this year because we always do Tucson, but
have they canceled Tucson this year?
I haven't heard anything about it. I usually get emails. I haven't gotten anything.
I can't believe they moved Phoenix again to May of next year. I thought for sure they would have waited till December or November to move it, but
yeah, I don't know why they did it so preemptively. I think it has more to do than just COVID. Those guys were running out of money to begin with.
I think it has to happen to be with their guests aren't wanting to come here because we're like the #1 hotspot for that crap.
We are?
Yeah.
I thought Florida was.
No, Arizona is number 1.
Huh.
But Corbin says no Comic-Con in AZ until Fan Fusion in May of next year.
Tucson's a blast, dude, just because it's so easy. There's not a lot of people there.
Corbin's here. I'll reiterate it. Corbin, tomorrow morning, tickets go on sale for the San Diego Comic-Con, like little con they're doing over Thanksgiving weekend if you're interested. So, but.
Yeah, well, Phoenix Comic-Con hasn't been able to get good guests in years. So,
yeah.
I'm surprised that the guests are like, no, we're not coming there.
But it works out for me though, because I was like, oh shit, how am I going to juggle going to Phoenix Comic-Con a week before my daughter's supposed to be born? And Erin is chill about it. And she was like, well, if you want to go, then you can go. But like, I'm like, sweet. Now it's in May, so I can at least wait and not have to worry about my baby being super tiny or her going into labor while I'm standing in line to get an autograph or at a panel talking about dick and fart jokes or whatever, you know?
That's what happened to me. I went a week before my son was born.
Yeah.
I think it was William that was Max. Do you remember that?
Like, I remember him being born.
Yeah, obviously. No, I remember like we usually carpool to those things, and I had to take my own car just in case I had to race out of there.
Yeah, I remember when he was born. It was it was an ordeal.
$30 for parking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably called San Diego Comic-Con, Corbin.
No, he's talking about the one in Scottsdale, I think.
Oh.
Or you know, I don't have to sit there and
Solo Wookiee Con.
I don't have to sit there and watch Lance get fucking talked down to by Frank Caliendo as I get a text saying that she's going into labor.
Fuck that, dude.
Don't bring it up.
Why do you have to like enlist my rage like that? Dude, I fucking hate that guy. And if I ever saw him one-on-one, I'd drop
Batman
him.
v Superman's a great movie. Let's redirect.
Oh,
redirect.
Fuck you, Max. Reroute.
See, she said, let's be clear. Fine if you go, but your ass would have to be ready to go if I went into labor. Yeah, I know.
Well, at least it's closer. Like Phoenix Comic-Con is closer to your house than it is to me. Like, aren't you pretty close to it?
They're like 30 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half away from me. And I still went. But, dude, I get it. It's tough, man.
But I think that's a good place to end it this week, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out in the chat. Good to see Corbin in the chat. Aaron, Ish, Solo Wookie, Grizzle Geek. Who else? I mean, everyone in the chat tonight. It's been great.
Leftover
Zaggy, Quantum Kyle. We missed Stumbling Jedi because he was too busy stumbling over something to show up. But it was a great show. Guys, if you're catching this on the playback and you want to watch us live, you can do so every Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on YouTube, youtube.com/Absolute Geek Podcast. Go ahead and hit it up and subscribe to us so we can hit that 1,000 subs by the end of the year. Greatly appreciate it. If you're on social media, check us out on Facebook. You can join the Facebook group, Absolute Geek Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are on any and every platform.
TikTok.
You can TikTok. Yep. Any and every platform that you consume podcasts. You can hear us there and download the playbacks on Monday. So much good stuff. We hope you enjoy when you find us. If this is your first time listening to us and you like to subscribe, we greatly appreciate your support. But yeah, guys, anything else you want to talk about this week? Anything else?
No.
Thanks for coming every week, guys.
Yeah,
we love you.
Appreciate it. Hope you guys had a good time. And so for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I'm Lance.
I'm Max.
And we'll see you guys next time.
See ya. All you freaks and geeks,
come all you freaks and geeks. Let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks.
Spread the cheeks.
And drink
And
some
we're for
Cosby wine.
We'll
Come
drink
on,
some
Absolute
Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time on the Absolute Geek.